Specialist Local Sports Update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. The Jaguars are 4-6, and Nick Foles says they're going through a tough journey.
We're trying to figure out, how to win as a team. We have to, to win in football and the teams I've been on, you have to win as a team. And, we have the guys in the locker room. We have the coaches here to do that. We're going through our journey right now. Everyone wants you just to arrive at the end goal, but that's not how this thing works. Like, we're in that tough time. This is really where you get tested, and this is where you can either go this way or that way. Which one do you want to choose? And it's really just positivity or negativity. And that's where we're at right now.
Nick Foles today, courtesy of Jaguars.com. 68 degrees at 3 o'clock. Your time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
Hot day and it's a long way back to my home. Turn the radio on, I'm hearing my friend Lizzie pretend that their voice counts, but nothing amounts to anything until I hear from you.
Frank, Hayes, Lauren, and Gibby. The Frangie Show starts now on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. Glad you're along for the ride on a Wednesday with Hayes Carline, Lauren Brooks, and Andrew Gibson. I'm Frank Frangie as we embark on a beautiful day out. We should just go outside.
I'm game.
Right, let's go do right.
Because
Right
from in
next to the
here, we
road.
can't even see outside. How do you know it's beautiful?
We should go next to the road, set up like a lemonade stand.
I like it.
So sell it for like $1 a cup. We could make
Maybe a high price.
5 cents a cup.
How about 50 cents?
50 cents. So we could make money.
Okay.
And we'd be outside. People drive by.
Sure.
We could advertise it on the radio. People drive by. We'd sell them lemonade for 50 cents. We could make money on the deal. And we'd be outside. What do you think?
I think people would be hoping they were going to get champagne and lemonade, and then they'd pay even
sunshine.
more.
They wanted sunshine.
They want sunshine because it's a sunny day, and also we'd make a higher profit because we could charge more.
Look at you.
We just would
Always
have to
thinking.
verify their age.
You know, what I like about you is you're business savvy is what we're dealing with here.
You always said people need to be entrepreneurial.
They do. Hey, a lot to do today on the program. It is a beautiful day. A lot of things. Nick Foles spoke today. Doug Marrone, as he always does. You'll hear some of those comments coming up later on in the program. You'll hear some one-on-one interviews with A.J. Boye and Will Richardson. Our man Hayes Carline always tracks those down. So that'll be a lot of fun today. Alex Ricker-Gilbert, my buddy who's the athletic director at JU, is going to come and sit in the studio with us for about 10, 12 minutes or so, in about 15 minutes, 3:20, because they launched their new practice facility. It's been a real challenge, and they're trying to upgrade facilities, and it's hard. And you hear Florida talk about it all the time. Florida is waiting forever to start. They finally started building their baseball. They're going to start building their football standalone. FSU had to pull back the reins and to delay their football standalone. Building facilities is hard. It's hard on campus. It's hard raising the money and deciding. And JU has decided to build a basketball training facility that will house both their men's basketball team, their women's basketball team, their volleyball team. Right now they have one court. They have one court on campus. And so they've made a decision to build that. It's not a playing facility yet. They're down the road are going to build an arena where they'll play their games. But it's step one, and JU's a wonderful partner of the radio station. So Alex Ricker-Gilbert will be in just about 15 minutes to talk about that, which is kind of cool. Absolutely.
The moment that you finish building one facility, it feels like you have to turn around and start thinking about building another facility. And when the price is so expensive, I mean, just this Jacksonville basketball complex or performance complex is going to be $8 million or so. That's a lot of money to spend for just a couple sports, 3 sports in this case. And so certainly it is a challenge for each athletic department to be able to raise enough funds to keep up with the demands of their sports and their student athletes.
Jeremy Foley, Lauren, used to call it the arms race. He said, I'm not getting in the arms race. And, well, he looked up, and he would be the first to tell you that they fell behind in the arms race, and that probably affected the program some, certainly football. And so you got to fight the arms race. Now, the Atlantic Sun arms race is a different arms race than the SEC. But the truth of the matter is Alex has a tougher challenge because it's a private school. That's the reality. Gulf Coast and UNF and so many schools are public schools. They are fighting in the Atlantic Sun with private monies, and it's a school that has, 3,000 students, 3,500?
Probably, yeah, right around there.
Somewhere thereabouts. So it's a tough challenge. So it's an interesting dynamic, and Alex is going to share with us the vision, the idea of behind the practice facility, and he'll be in studio with us in about 15 minutes. So I'm looking forward to that. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk a little. I'm very interested to hear. I was not down there today in the presser or in the locker room. Where is this team emotionally, psychologically? I know I talk about that a lot because I think it's a very important part of sports today, a really important part. But I want to. I'm very interested to sit down and talk to Hayes and others who went in the locker room today. And do they still believe? Because once you quit believing, you're done, right? It's interesting stuff for me.
Yeah, I certainly hope that the answer is they have a chip on their shoulder because of the way that last Sunday went. But in watching Nick Foles' press conference, I felt like he was a little, I'm not going to use the word angry because he's not that emotional, but it did kind of feel like he was a little chippy. I don't think that he liked the questions about, run versus pass and why didn't the offense work. He kept referring to the team mentality. And I'm not saying that he was not trying to take any blame for what went down, but it did feel like I felt like Foles to me for the first time was a little chippy. Did you get that sense at all?
Yeah, I have to hear more of him. I heard a little bit of it. I don't think that's who he is. But what I think you will hear when you hear his comments is some frustration. And I get that. And look, you're Nick Foles. You get your payday. 4 years, $88 million. 50 or whatever it was guaranteed. And everybody wants their payday. People say you're not about the money. Everybody's about the money. But having said that, this is a pretty good person who's about the right stuff, moves to a brand new city, loved Philadelphia, loved the people there, loved playing there, understood the pressure of playing there. Got to Jacksonville, and, man, I can't wait to be the leader of this team, and said all the right things. And, Lauren, then he's got to wait 8 months to play or 5 months to play, whatever it is, between March and September, 4 months, whatever. He's got to wait to play. Then he finds out he's not playing in the preseason, which is probably a good decision from a health standpoint. But this guy's chomping at the bit to play, right? Finally, the season gets here, and he gets 11 plays. And he breaks his collarbone. All right, now I got to be good, upbeat, positive, good team guy for 8 more weeks. And again, that's who he is, which is good. But, dang, I got to do this again. Now I finally get to play, and it doesn't go very well. If ever there was a guy that had a right to be frustrated, whether that's frustration with himself, whether that's frustration with the way it went, wouldn't it be him?
Certainly there's a reason to be frustrated. I would have expected, I guess, almost some frustration last week, too, because he had gotten hurt in the first quarter of the first game, and it wasn't there. Last week it was the bounce in his step and excited and peppy. Well, the loss, I feel like, changed a little bit of that, and that's okay. That's human nature. But it did surprise me just to hear, I think, a little bit of that humanity come through.
Yeah. So, and I kind of like that. I like the whole humanity thing, So we'll talk about that. So a lot of fun stuff to talk about today on the program. I want to get to other things around the NFL, guys that might have surprised us, other than the ones we've already said surprised us. It's been a fun year in the NFL. It's been an interesting year. A lot of teams kind of lumped together. So I want to get to that coming up a bit as well. Some college football. If you're Joey Gatewood, where do you go? Where are you going? Joey Gatewood, for people that don't know, the Bartram Trail mega recruit, chose Auburn, went to Auburn, clearly didn't get a chance to play. For the first time, I can make myself really believe that there was probably pressure to play Bo Nix because he was Patrick Nix's kid. I never want to make myself believe that stuff ever plays. But honestly, now I think maybe it does. I'm just being honest. I mean, because it was clear Gatewood was never getting a chance to win that job once the season began. I don't know what happened in the fall or the spring, but it was clear once the season began, it didn't matter what Bo Nix did, they weren't pulling it. They weren't pulling Patrick Nix's kid out of the game. So Joey Gatewood eventually said, all right, nothing else I can do at this point. I got to leave. So a lot of people think he wants to go to Florida. The buzz, the scuttlebutt is he would like to play for Florida. Whether they want him or not, I don't know. And I don't even know if the scuttlebutt's true, but you hear it enough.
Just like the scuttlebutt had Carson Beck going to Florida.
Correct. So maybe it's just Florida people. Maybe it's Florida scuttlebutt.
Sure.
But let's say he did. Is that the right? Do you go there where, in my mind, it's pretty clear Kyle Trask is your quarterback next year? Now Hayes isn't so sure. I don't think he could be any more clear. that Kyle Trask is your quarterback next year.
Well, and if it's not Kyle Trask, I would think that still Emory Jones would probably if I'm Joey Gatewood, would beat me out because he knows the offense. He's been there. He's put in his time.
He's ahead.
And so I'm going somewhere that runs the type of offense that fits me best as a dual threat quarterback. And I'm going somewhere that tells me you are absolutely 100% the starter at this school.
And I think the dual threat thing, I think that's about everywhere now. I think everybody runs RPO now, and everybody's in the shotgun now. There's very few. Even when Alabama did it and LSU did it, then everybody was going to do it. So I think there's very few teams that aren't running spread and a lot of RPO. So I don't know that stuff. But I mean, he visited Kentucky, right? Well, we'll get to this later on in the program. So we're not going to start with this. But he visited Kentucky, right? Well, is Kentucky a better bet than Florida when you know you're going to be the quarterback? Whereas at Florida, I'll say it again, Pat Dooley said it best yesterday. If Kyle Trask isn't the starting quarterback in game one, then there's an investigation. Because he's won that, and Dan Mullen has proven once you've won it, you're the guy, right? So anyway, I want to get to that, a little college stuff coming on. I got a lot of stuff today. Glad you're with us on a Wednesday. Brought to you by the Kitchen and Flooring Design Center. We'll take a break. When we come back, my friend Alex Ricker-Gilbert, the athletic director at JU, will talk about their brand new practice facility. That and more when we continue. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings Studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Catch Navy football on 1010XL. This week, the midshipman battle, SMU, Saturday at 3:30. Brought to you by Scrubbles Express Car Wash at the Town Center and Honeydew Service. Hear the games all season long on 1010 AM. Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL. Brought to you by Darley's Plumbing.
Florida handed Missouri its first home loss of the season Saturday, improving to 9-2 with a 23-6 victory. The Gators led the Tigers 6-3 at the half, but found a rhythm in the third quarter as quarterback Kyle Trask connected with wide receiver Josh Hammond and running back Michael Pirine for touchdowns. Second-year head coach Dan Mullen is now 19-5, and Florida remains in the hunt for a New Year's Six Bowl berth for the second year in a row. 10th-ranked Florida has this week off before the annual showdown with Florida State kicking off Saturday, November 30th.
Hi, I'm Ellen Darley with Darley's Plumbing. When you use Darley's for any plumbing work, you're getting the service, expertise, and reputation of the Darley's family name. We do it all, from leaky faucets and toilet repairs to whole house plumbing remodels, slab leaks, and sewer lines. At Darley's, our team is here to fix your plumbing issues right the first time. That's why we say Darley's is where quality counts. Visit us online at darleysplumbing.com.
For the best price and service when it comes to your waste hauling and collecting, look no further than the A-Team at All-American Roll-Off and Recycling. Jet Prosser here, and let me tell you, you're not going to find an easier way to handle your project cleanups than calling in the A-Team at All-American. A J.B. Coxwell company, All-American Roll-Off and Recycling has brand new trucks and cans in all sizes to fit your project needs. No hidden fees. Count on the best price in town. When it comes to cleaning up when the job is done, go with the A-Team at All-American Roll-Off and Recycling. Visit us at all-americanrolloff.com.
This Saturday night, in an explosive pay-per-view event, Deontay Wilder faces Luis Ortiz for the heavyweight championship of the world.
What a shot!
And in an electrifying co-main, Leo Santa Cruz battles Miguel Flores for the super featherweight world title.
This one is over!
Wilder Ortiz, Santa Cruz Flores, Saturday at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, live on pay-per-view. Order now on the Fox Sports app.
Xfinity customers can order now by going to xfinity.com/boxing or just say boxing into your Xfinity voice remote.
904-997-224. 904-997-224. To learn about solar and make your life go lower, call 904-997-224.
USA Energy Savers Solar Division, 999-7224.
Get inside the Gators with the Florida Gator Report with Lauren Brooks.
Go, Gator!
Brought to you by Darley's Plumbing, where quality counts.
A big win for the Florida Gators.
Get your Gators on 1010XL.
Have you heard the expression, knowledge is power? It's sure true in the criminal justice system. I'm attorney Lee Lockett, and I'm here to remind you of some very important rights. Know that you don't have to answer questions during any investigation. Trying to talk your way out of trouble rarely goes well. In a DUI investigation, you don't have to participate in the roadside gymnastics. Know your rights. Get in the know. Know before you blow. Offices Jacksonville. Call 858-9818 now or go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com.
I finally admitted it. My garage was a mess, full of junk. I could have done it myself, but man, am I glad we called the veterans at J-Dog Junk Removal. Frank Frangie here. My wife and I saved so much time and so much hassle having them clear the clutter. She loved how courteous they were the entire time. And now we can enjoy our garage again. Look, take it from me. Clear the clutter. You'll be so glad you did. No matter how big the job, call J-Dog Junk Removal today. 844-GET-JDOG or enter your zip code at jdog.com.
Guys, in the U.S., 1 in 9 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. This Movember, the urologists with McKeever Clinic encourage you to have an open conversation with your friends, your family, or doctor about men's health. McKeeverClinic.com.
Hi, folks. Frank Frangie here for Orange Environmental Services, the superstars at taking care of your pest control and your lawn. They mow our lawn, they treat our lawn, and they're the best in the business at pest control with Centricon Termite Protection. They are the superstars. I trust them. You should too. 272-3284. The superstars at taking care of your pest control and your lawn are Orange Environmental. Call them today at 272-3284.
Looking for a great gift idea this holiday season? Give the gift of golf with gift cards to the King and Bear and the Slammer and Squire. Gift cards can be redeemed for golf rounds at both championship courses, merchandise inside the golf shops, and dining at either of the clubhouse restaurants. It's a gift you can't go wrong with, and the best part is they never expire. To learn more and to purchase gift cards, visit playwgv.com. That's playwgv.com.
How tough is the new 2019 Crewmax Toyota truck? Well, it's tough enough for Ernie Palmer Toyota and 1010XL to give one away this fall. Fact is, Ernie Palmer Toyota now has your toughest and coolest Tundras, Tacomas, Highlanders, and Sequoias just sitting around waiting for you to drive. So visit Ernie Palmer Toyota today and keep an eye out for the Ernie Palmer Weekly Pick'em Contest this football season on 1010XL.com, where you'll have a chance to win a Crewmax Toyota Tundra, only from Ernie Palmer Toyota.
Jeff Prosser here. Don't let another spring arrive and you still have patio envy. Now is the time to visit Lifetime Enclosures for the cure to patio envy. Let them design the patio, lanai, sunroom, or screen enclosure of your dreams. I've told you how happy my folks are with the work they did. Visit them now at Lifetime Enclosures, just south of Bay Meadows on Phillips Highway, and set up your free estimate. Plus, you can receive up to 20% off a qualifying purchase. Also, take the short walk to Lifetime Flooring right next door. Tell them Jeff sent you.
License CRC 028471.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Randy Taylor in Jacksonville at 642-2400.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
It's a Kitchen and Flooring Design Center Wednesday on The Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hey, welcome back. Glad you're with us. Hayes Carline, Lauren Brooks, Andrew Gibson. I'm Frank Frangie. Let's turn it to JU Athletics for a moment. My friend Alex Ricker-Gilbert is the athletics director at JU, joins us now in studio. How you doing there, buddy?
I'm doing well. I feel bad. I normally bring you guys some gifts, and this is the first time I've been to the studio, and so I didn't bring a housewarming gift.
You've been very generous.
Yeah, that's right. You're ahead of the game. You got some credit built up.
I'm actually still really jealous because there was one show that I missed last year, and you brought everybody gifts, and a different Lauren got that gift.
Yeah. It was in the River House on campus.
It was in the River House on campus. And she still uses the bag and rubs it in.
Right, and Brooks doesn't hold a grudge. You can tell. It was only about 9 years ago. Okay, so there you go.
No, you are super generous. I'm kidding.
You know, the best part was Hayes was coming back from the stadium, and Alex followed him in the parking lot, and we couldn't find you. You might have been lost. You were parts unknown. Yeah.
Yeah, I got into the employee lot. Right. Realized it after the gate shut on me. Went to the employee door and realized I had gotten myself into a mess.
Yeah, we have armed guards out there, so it's very dangerous. How you doing, man? How's everything? How's things?
I'm good. I'm good. Exciting. We've had a pretty good week. Football, double overtime win at Marist, and basketball took 2 out of 3 over the weekend up in Massachusetts, and then our women's team had a education day yesterday, women's basketball team against USC Upstate, who's a former conference foe, and we beat them by 44, so pretty good.
That's a pretty good week, I would say. And I know the basketball team played very well, and won the first 2 games of that tournament, played very well. So Tony Jasik's got that going, and great win for our friend Ian Shields, who joins us every Thursday on the football field as well. You're announcing a brand new basketball training facility. It's beautiful, the renderings we've seen. It's going to house both basketball teams and volleyball. And it's interesting. I never thought about it until I saw Tony's I should have known this. I'm over there all the time with you guys. I never thought about it until I saw Tony's quote. You had one court.
One court on campus.
One indoor court on campus.
That's right. So 85-year history, 86-year history. It's actually just going to be for men's and women's basketball.
Oh, it's not volleyball. Okay.
So volleyball will stay in Swisher.
I got you.
Both will play their games in Swisher still. But,
right.
What it really does is obviously the recruiting aspect of it is important. Facilities in basketball in this landscape are ever changing, always getting better, and so that's a big component of this. But also the preparation component, right? That our teams will be able to better prepare for their opponents because we have multiple floors. Don't have to worry about as many scheduling issues and logistical issues in order for our guys and our gals to get better each and every day by having this additional venue to be able to get their work in.
That's awesome. What's sort of the timeline that you're hoping to reach?
Yeah, so we've been in the design phase for a few months now, and it's about a 10-month design.
Oh wow!
And that will wrap up in the spring, and then so we hope to break ground late spring, April-May timeframe, and then the build's about 8 to 10 months as well. So then it'll be done the following spring. So open in plenty of time for the 21-22 year.
How much input do you get from the coaches and student athletes on the design of the building?
A lot of input from the coaches. Some people call me crazy for doing so, but they're the ones that are going to be in it, and so they understand their needs. They understand the students' needs. So we started meeting on this. This is a long process, as far back as 18 months ago, to really determine what we need in there within the sort of the budget that we have. And the student athletes too play a role. They've heard the sort of the rumors around it, and now it's a reality, and so they've started to ask about it. They've started to ask what's going in there, and we've communicated with them, and they're so excited to have a home. And that's the idea. We've been able to build different capital projects around campus, like lacrosse, like continuing to enhance baseball, to where these student athletes now have a home that they can go to, that they can spend their days in, not just athletically, but they can get their study hours in. They can hang out with one another. They can create better relationships with each other and grow their relationships with their coaches. And that's really important in this environment. To be able to be around each other, be around your coaches more, allows for a growth in relationships. And that's something that might not be talked as much about in this whole thing.
Alex Ricker-Gilbert is with us. He is the JU Athletic Director. They've announced their new basketball performance center on campus that they're going to break ground on within the year. Okay, so what all's in it? How many courts? How many locker rooms? How many? Describe it.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So it's going to be, it's essentially a standalone facility. It is going to be connected to Swisher.
Oh, it is.
We'll have
okay.
a walk,
all right,
a walk through there, which will make it really functional for us.
Okay.
So within it, the biggest piece are the courts. So we're going to have a full game court and then another half a court as well, which will allow sort of 3 up and down on the half court side. That's the biggest component. We'll have offices for both men's and women's coaches, as well as sort of quiet areas for our students to be in, workstations for our students to be in. And then probably the second biggest piece of this is the weight room. Right. There'll be a weight room, men's and women's basketball only weight room in the facility, so that all their sort of athletic related activity can be in one spot. And that frees up, obviously, basketball.
Right.
But right now our student athletes lift in the same facility on campus. And so this will also enhance scheduling for other sports to be able to find different times to weight lift in the other facility as well. So obviously, again, the recruiting, the preparation, but it also opens up a lot of different opportunities for other student athletes on campus by creating this space.
The obvious question you've been asked 100 times, so let me make it 101.
By you 100 times, I think.
By me 100 times. Why a practice facility and not a game facility? If you're putting money into it, Alex, why not a building where you can play the games?
Sure. Yeah, and it's a good question. And the very straightforward answer is the practice facility is $8 million.
Right.
and the game facility's $40 to $50 million in this environment.
Got it.
And so we're taking this in a phased approach. Swisher's where we're playing our games right now. We've put about $1 million into that over the last couple of years. The practice facility's the next phase, and that's what we're doing right now in order to make an impact right now, because just in the ASUN, schools are continuing to build.
Right.
So we need to do something to stay competitive and compete for championships in both men's and women's basketball. The next phase is absolutely working towards that new game facility. And that's the next major project. I can't tell you how long it's going to take. If somebody out there's got $50 million for
Call
me,
you? They should call
me,
you? Okay.
and
We'll get going?
And we'll get going tomorrow.
They can
right?
call me too.
Yeah, and Lauren can donate it to me, right? Or Lauren can split it with you, Frank,
That's
and
right.
you guys can get
That's what
both your
we'll
names
do.
on the
That's what
building.
we'll do.
So yeah, the game facility is an ultimate goal, but right now to make an impact, we felt it really prudent to build this practice facility.
In designing it, did you visit other schools? Did you look at facilities with other schools? Was there anything that popped out to you that said, you know what, I kind of like what they've done here, and maybe we could apply that, at JU? Yeah, so our coaches have, obviously they travel all over the country and see different facilities. NGIT built a huge, beautiful new convocation center that includes a practice gym. That was 20 years in the making. Right. And so we looked at that and looked at how they laid out their practice courts. We've looked at Liberty, how they've laid out their practice courts. And yeah, we've studied other schools' practice facilities. We went to Notre Dame last year. I took a look at that. That's a high major facility, but there's little things you can take from how they lay out the courts to how they lay out the offices to where the weight room is to all the way down to the branding. Right, you can do things within the facilities with the branding and how different intricacies look within the facility that go a long way, that don't cost a lot of money. And so we've taken those, not just the big picture ideas, but the small details within those facilities throughout the country by both visiting and studying them online.
How did you decide on Balfour Beatty as the group to work with?
That's a really good question. And so normally with facility projects, you go through an RFP process, and we did that. And Balfour Beatty ended up being the GC for a number of reasons, but they had some unique ideas to help with the cost, and they've also got experience in this realm. They did all the renovations at the Amway Center for the Orlando Magic, and that included practice facility pieces to that. And so their familiarity with it, their familiarity with our architects, Joe Ben and Associates, who did the football practice facility at Maryland, made us comfortable with that group. And so we're excited to move forward.
Alex, how challenging is this? My buddy Jeremy Foley always said he doesn't want to get caught up in an arms race, but then he got out of the world that now is an arms race. And I know you and Jeremy are friends, and he's one of my closest friends. How challenging is that, and how challenging is it for a private school with 3,000 students, right? I mean, you're competing against state money, I would think, in some instances, right? How hard is that?
It's a challenge because it's competitive, right? This is a competitive business. And so in our environment where, we look across the league, you have publics and you have privates. You have publics that have state funding. You have privates with additional funding. Liberty uses a lot of their online programming to generate revenue, so there's challenge and competition within that. So we need to find our niche. And the philosophy for us, as I've alluded to, is how do we make an impact through making these student athletes feel very special? And we found that our personal touch with them and our relationships with them can be enhanced by providing them sort of a home within their sport. And so the facilities we've built are not going to be grandiose necessarily, but they're going to be just that. There's going to be a place where they feel comfortable, right, where they can be around each other, where they can be with their coaches and their fellow student athletes, and where they can grow as students and as athletes. And so we've developed this mindset where we make these facilities a place that is their home while they're at Jacksonville University.
And you guys have, is it baseball or what? Don't you guys have plans on other things? I mean,
this is a great plan, but it's one of those things where when you have such a big athletic department, I would imagine there's a lot of things that you're doing all at once.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you look over the course of the last 5, 10, 12 years, we've built a softball stadium and facility. We've really enhanced the baseball facility over the last few years. We're looking to add a team room at baseball to where they can have a dedicated space within that facility where they watch film, where they hang out, where they play video games. They've got all the other stuff, the locker room, the study area, the coaches' offices, but we're looking to add that as well, and we're close to doing that as well. We've added the lacrosse center. Now we're adding the practice facility. I just left a meeting with our golf coaches who are interested in building a clubhouse. So this is a constant evolution of what we're trying to do, and it centers around this idea where we provide the student athletes, again, that home where they can feel comfortable.
For people who haven't been to Swisher, why should they go tomorrow night as JU plays host to Western Carolina in men's basketball?
Yeah, I think this is an exciting team that we have. A lot of newcomers that have made impacts, but also we have 2 fifth-year seniors in the starting lineup. David Bell, the transfer from Ohio State, is averaging a double-double.
Starting to play, isn't he?
Yes, averaging. He had 16, 16, and 4 blocks in his last game. And Amani Santos has really stepped up as a leader at the point guard position. And so we really like our pieces. And if you look at the first 6 games, we're really defending. We're really defending in the half court and playing with a lot of energy and effort. And then Western Carolina, they're a good team.
Should have beat FSU, probably.
They
were
were
up 15 on them.
Up 15, ended up losing by 5, so that's going to be a good test for us at home and a fun mid-major basketball game that you can get into very cheap and have yourself a good time.
All right, Alex Ricker-Gilbert, the AD at JU. Well, congratulations. I know because we talk all the time how hard you've worked on this performance center, this practice facility. And I know you're proud of it. I know you put a lot of time into it. Congratulations on that. I do want the grandstand on the baseball field. Do we need to talk about that? Or are you on that? You're on it, right?
Yeah, I'm on it. And,
okay.
and Frank, I mean, if you're interested, I'm always open for a conversation on a donation.
The problem we have, we see things differently. I want this beautiful grandstand on Sessions Stadium. Alex is way more concerned with unimportant things like student welfare. I don't get that. I mean, cover up the fans so they're not in the sun. I mean,
He just said he'd be happy to as long as you donate.
I'm about the important things in the world, but hey, you've done a great job. I know how hard you've worked at this stuff. Congratulations on that. We appreciate you coming in.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Back in a moment. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings' studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Winning teams usually have a strong defense. Scoop and score! Each week, Superior Fence and Rail presents the Defensive Player of the Game.
Leader on this defense from day one.
Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters. Here's what's happening in Bulldog Country. The Georgia Bulldog Report. Brought to you by Culhane's Irish Pub on Atlantic Boulevard and in Tinseltown.
Kirby Smart and the Bulldogs have won the SEC East for a 3rd straight season. Georgia is the first team to win 3 consecutive SEC East titles since Florida won 5 in a row from 1992 to 1996. The Dogs look for their 10th win of the season, Saturday against Texas A&M.
Calling all Georgia Bulldogs. Anya here from Culhane's Irish Pub in Atlantic Beach and the new location at Tinseltown. Hunker down every Saturday to watch your Georgia Bulldogs while enjoying authentic Irish cuisine and $5 pints from Ruby Beach Brewing. With over 24 beers on tap and dog specials all Saturday long, it's your Bulldog home at the beaches in Tinseltown this fall. Culhane's Irish Pub delivers 5-star class with 5-star staff. Visit culhanesirishpub.com. Go Dogs!
Brilliant!
When you hear Honda, you automatically think safety, value, reliability. Now think sale. Big sale and low interest rates. This is our last sale of the year during Happy Honda Days at your local Honda dealer. Don't miss it.
If you want great barbecue, you want Bono's. Fast, friendly service, clean family restaurants, and the absolute best barbecue around. Love the ribs. Love the chicken. Bono's green beans, as good as you've ever had in town. You ought to try the Brunswick stew. I can go on and on. The sweet potatoes, the best you've ever had. Bottom line is, you want great barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's. Also, the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. 15 locations in town, fast, friendly service, and great barbecue. That, folks, is Bonos.
Noel's Lock and Safe is your go-to place for gun safes, home and office safes by Liberty Safe Company, America's best-built safe. Noel's is the largest in-stock safe dealer in North Florida, with a huge showroom on Blanding and tons of safes to choose from right there. So you can go get your Liberty Safe today. Plus, with 12 months interest-free financing and free 90-day layaway, lock in your holiday savings. Visit LibertySafesOfNorthFlorida.com, a division of Noel's Lock and Safe.
This is Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is proud to provide sports medicine services to not only the Jaguars, but also the Jacksonville Sharks, Armada Soccer Club, Jacksonville University, the Axemen, Florida State College of Jacks, and the majority of local high schools and community events. With the most experienced, caring, and fellowship-trained specialists in orthopedics, it's no wonder why coaches, parents, and athletes choose JOI. Give us a call at JOI 2000 or online at JOI.net.
Looking for a holiday gift? Give your man increased stamina and staying power. Magaman makes the perfect stocking stuffer. BOGO for new customers. Buy now at mymagaman.com. That's mymagaman.com.
Let's have lunch with Leon.
Got any fried chicken?
Former Jacksonville Pro Bowler Leon Searcy is serving up lunch on XL Primetime.
Weekdays from noon till 1:30. Brought to you by Wingstop.
Now I'm really hungry.
On 1010XL.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Dave Benyon here with Zero Res. My favorite part of the holidays is being with the people I love the most. Do you have someone special coming to visit you this holiday season? Do you want everything to look and feel just perfect? We at Zero Res would love to come help you do just that. We can clean your carpets, area rugs, tile and grout, sofas and chairs, and even clean and seal your granite countertops. Our schedule's filling up fast, so call us today. Right now, get your carpets cleaned for only $43 per room. And be sure to ask about the deal on tile and grout. Zero Res spelled forward and backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Edwin Watts Golf Shops is rolling back the savings with our pre-Black Friday sale happening this Friday through Sunday. It's our biggest sale of the year. Save 20% off everything in stock. Yes, 20% off everything in every department. Clubs, bags, shoes, balls and accessories, rangefinders, apparel, and more. All discounted at 20% off to kick off the holiday season. Don't miss our biggest sale of the year. Edwin Watts Golf Shops. Pre-Black Friday sale happening this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Sales excludes Bing and Scotty Cameron. Some other manufacturer restrictions may apply. See store for details.
Nimnick Chevrolet is the #1 Chevrolet dealership in Jacksonville, and they just won Dealer of the Year for 2018. Some of the reasons they're #1 is that they have the most inventory and the best price guarantee. They've been serving and donating to this community for 78 years, and no one cares more about the customers before, but more importantly, after the sale. That's Nimnick Chevrolet. Head there today, won't you? Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
It's a kitchen and flooring design center Wednesday on The Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Welcome back to the program. Hayes Carline has joined the fray as he did before Alex got here. How was the locker room? Quiet?
Yeah. Not a lot of guys in the locker room. Yeah. Now they're lifting, and you know, but it was a little sparse. And I think the guys that talked, had the right attitude. I mean, there's still 6 games left, so I think while a lot of us have written them off, and I think rightfully so, it's not like there's 2 weeks left in the season. I mean, these guys have 40 more days that they have to grind through. So I think they're saying the right things, but I think there's a touch of gloom in the building.
The comments of Nick Foles. He met the media today. He will do it every Wednesday. Minshew did it when he was the starting quarterback. Now Nick Foles starts with talking about what he took away after watching tape of the Colts game.
Just execution. I mean, execution just means, it's little details here and there, me placing the ball, certain areas, going through the reads, guys making plays. I mean, everyone had their hand in it. I mean, if there's a way for a team to, lose a game, we did it as a team. Everyone had a hand in it. And that's something that, we understand and we take ownership of. And that's why we're right back here, analyzing film, looking to where we can improve and coming out there today and, working towards that.
2 touchdown passes to DJ Chark, 2 more for DJ, who now has 8. What's the most impressive thing about this second-year wideout?
I think the thing that most impresses me about him is, he's kept a steady head. His personality has continued to be who he is. He's not changing based on what he's doing on the field, which, is really important in this league, is just be who you are. If you start listening to the outside noise and how good everyone thinks you are, you start acting a certain way and you get a little complacent and you're not being who you are. And that's the thing that's most, impressive about him as an individual. And yeah, I think, his statistics and how he's played, he's amongst the best in the league right now.
The clock is ticking on this season. Everybody thought last week was a critical game. You're now 4-6 with obviously 6 to play. Probably have to win them all or just about all of them to even have a chance at the tournament. Foles was asked, how do you avoid pressing given the circumstance?
Not pressing means don't freak out. I'll let everyone else freak out. I'm not going to freak out. I'm going to continue to come to work. I'm going to continue to, believe in my teammates. I don't come in here and say, it's just going to happen. I mean, we put in a lot of work, and, coaches are, working hard towards the game plan. We go out there and practice to fine-tune it. It's just one of those things where it's just got to be ingrained in who you are. It's not something where you just have to, I'm going to turn it on and have this sense of urgency. If you all of a sudden have to turn it on, like, did you ever have it? Is the question. I think the big thing is, I'm going to continue to be who I am as a person, and I'm going to continue to prepare, get these guys ready, and, ultimately we have to get on the field and we have to, win a game as a team.
He was asked his input. How much does he have, and what kind of input does he have on Flip's play calling?
We're still developing those relationships. Unfortunately, I was out for, 9-10 weeks. So, we're getting reacquainted with that. And obviously I have a, history with Flip, but, big chunk of the season I wasn't there. So we're trying to, reestablish, what we're comfortable with, what we're good at as a team, different things. Because a lot of it, too, is your personnel as a team. So working around what we have, putting them guys in position to be successful. Ultimately, we have guys here that, we can make plays and we can do those things. We just have to go out there and, execute the game plan, and then the third down and red zone situations, be really good in those situations.
How difficult is this journey that they're going on now, given everything that's happened?
We're trying to figure out, how to win as a team. We have to, to win in football, and the teams I've been on, you have to win as a team. And, we have the guys in the locker room. We have the coaches here to do that. We're going through our journey right now. Everyone wants you just to arrive at the end goal, but that's not how this thing works. Like, we're in that tough time. This is really where you get tested, and this is where you can either go this way or that way. Which one do you want to choose? And it's really just positivity or negativity. And that's where we're at right now.
And he talked about how tough those trials really are.
This is one of the things. Hopefully when we're at the end of the journey, we look back and we're like, all right, it was all worth it to go through those trials, those tough times. But, man, when we're in them, they suck. But that's where we're at right now. We got to keep grinding. We got to keep believing in each other. We got to keep honing in on this game plan. And we got to go out there ultimately and execute and play with each other. That's it. We got to play for one another. We got to play well on all sides of the ball. And that's really how you win games in this league. It's hard to one side of the ball plays well and the other two don't. It's hard to win this league. You got to win as a team, so we got to get there.
Lauren, you said earlier the comments of Nick Foles that he sounded chippy. I would say more firm, but I think I get what you're saying. I would say firm. I would say, hey, you know what? Didn't go very well. So how would you characterize the tone of Nick Foles in that presser?
I get a sense that a lot of what he's talking about is stuff that you can't really see a dividend from until 2020. I mean, we're in week 12. You're talking about building culture. They've got a lot of guys that are going to be back on the 2020 team. And I'm not saying Nick is looking ahead. I mean, obviously, he's going to try and win 6 games. But I think that the more Nick talks, I think it comes across as that there's work that can be done. And I think as he looks to it, I think there is a foundation that needs to be laid in terms of the approach. And I think you're seeing that reflected in his comments. I think when you have a veteran quarterback that's talking about building culture this late in the season, I mean, it's not like he just arrived. This wasn't a trade. He has been here. He hasn't played, but he's been here. He's been observing things, and I think I think that's my biggest takeaway from it. Is that I think Nick probably feels like this team has a ways to go in terms of that, But and it's better, but than it was last year. But it may not be to the level it needs to be at. So I think it's more that. I think it's when he says stuff like that, I think it's more long-term than it really is like, well, we need to build a culture so we can go win on Sunday. Well, that's not how it works. I mean, they are who they are. Like there's not a whole lot that can change between now and going to Nashville. So I think Nick is talking somewhat long-term when he's asked some of these questions.
Yeah, when he was asked about the play calling and the game plan, I guess found it a little surprising. Like, I haven't been playing, so we have still have to work through that. You haven't been playing, but you've certainly been in every single team meeting to have those conversations about how many runs versus how many passes, when to run, when to pass. And so to me, that's why I said I thought he kind of sounded a little defensive. Maybe chippy's too strong of a word, but maybe a little defensive.
Very firm. And I think leaders, there's times to love them up. There's times for your leaders to be firm. One other leader on this team, even though he's a quiet leader, is A.J. Boye. He's one of the veteran guys. It's suddenly a young team, and it's suddenly a young defense. AJ's a guy that's been around a little bit. Hayes caught up with the terrific number one cornerback in the locker room today.
Hayes Carline in the Jaguars locker room, brought to you by CareSpot, urgent care made easy. AJ, it's great to see you. How was practice?
It was good, as always. Going back to the fundamentals, communicating everything that's expected. So it was good, though.
How do you feel like you guys are doing stopping the pass?
I think we're doing good. We're not getting many opportunities to make plays on it. We got to run. Been running more man, so it's really chasing, being pressed, having your back to the ball. But we know what we got to do with the run game. That's the main thing. So we could still focus on our strengths in the pass and get better at that. But we know what we got to do a better job of as a defensive unit.
You enjoying the leadership role that you have now?
Yeah, feel like my voice is being heard now. Still got to put it all on the field. Still got to communicate with the coaches and everything. So I think it's doing a good job. We're all staying together even through the adversity.
How does Tannehill make the Titans a little different from when you saw him last time?
He's making the right decisions. He's not hesitating on his first reads. He's extending plays, and he's good running, using his legs to get a first down also if the reads aren't open. So he's making smart decisions. You're starting to see it. He has a good deep ball, good timing routes. I see him and the receivers are good on timing and everything.
What's the challenge? You guys obviously will emphasize stopping the run, but what's the challenge of not letting your guard down and letting them get something explosive in the passing game?
It's not really a challenge. I think it all comes down to discipline and fundamentals, just staying on top of everything. You want to have a good game all 60 minutes. You don't want to be good for the first 3 quarters, and in the fourth quarter you slip up because you get too complacent or lackadaisical. That's the main thing that the coaches were emphasizing today, is just always staying on top of everything.
AJ, thanks for your time. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, that's a sort of a underappreciated maybe storyline Sunday, is that all of a sudden Ryan Tannehill's become a 70% completion passer with, a very efficient touchdown to interception ratio, and he is athletic.
They're 3-1 since he started.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously you worry about Derrick Henry because we know what he can do, but and your point earlier in the week, Frank, is right. You still have to let Tannehill beat you, but he's looking like a player that can. So it's a challenge in the sense that Tennessee might be able to pose a little bit more of a threat through the air than maybe what we realize.
Yeah, and this is a defense that, I think we've seen it be really good against the pass at times, but certainly week 1 they weren't against the Chiefs. Against the Saints, not as much either, even though it was Teddy Bridgewater. So the linebacking core we've pointed to as a huge negative after this past week, but the DBs have to be on their stuff this week too.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. It's so funny, it's just how it is. Last week at this time, everything looked like the arrow was so pointing up. So many opportunities and possibilities. Nothing's changed other than you lost one game where you were an underdog. Yet it feels different. And it's on them now to change that, right? It's on them to make it feel differently. You lose again, and you know what you're talking about? Where the draft picks fall. Nobody wants to talk about the draft, but the reality is, if you lose next week, if you lose on Sunday, you're talking about, okay, what is it now, 11-20, right? Isn't that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Like it or not, that's logic is 4-7 teams talk about where they're picking in the draft and who they're picking. That's just how that's not a Jacksonville thing. That's a thing. 4-7 teams talk about where they're picking in the draft with 5 to play. So it's funny how it's odd how quickly those things change, isn't it?
Well, and I think it's especially odd for Foles because it's like there just was no grace period. There just couldn't be because of where they were. When you come back into the lineup and the team is 4-5, you haven't played in 2 months, it puts you in what I think is a pretty, I don't know if unfair is the right word, but it puts you in a tough spot.
High pressure.
I mean, it puts you in a tough spot to think that you're going to shake off all that rust, play great on the road against a divisional team. It was asking a lot. It was obviously asking too much. I mean, I was confident that Nick would play well enough for them to win, and I don't think Nick is the primary reason why they lost. They lost because they couldn't stop the run, and I think it turned the sideline into a little bit of into panic mode.
No question.
When they realized that they couldn't do it. I mean, if the defense gets a stop after the Chark 34-yarder, maybe Foles comes down, they get another score, totally different game. But the defense just never was able to show any real resistance. So I think it's a tough deal what Foles is having to go through, what the team's really having to go through, and I mean they're out of mulligans. I think you've not only do you have to win Sunday, you've got to go on an incredible run or it's over. And for this season, for this team, their expectation was clearly show that 2017 wasn't the outlier. Well, right now it looks like it absolutely was the outlier.
Here's the significance of this game to what you just said. I still think if you win this game, you're 5-6, you've swept the Titans, which doesn't happen very often, and you've got winnable home games upcoming. There's still a reason to see the light. You have to squint a little to see the light now at the end of the tunnel, but if you squint, you can still sort of see it. There's still reason for hope on radio and in the fan base and at the water cooler. If you win again, it's faded, this hope, but you can still see it. I really believe that. 5-6, you're in it. Now you got to stay hot. You got to go crazy like the 1995 or 96 team, whatever year it was that did that, right? But you got to get going. If you lose, it's hard to see how the fan base would have hope then. Now you're a 7-loss team. You're a 4-win team with 5 to play. You don't want to have 4 wins with 5 to play. So the significance of this game is it's almost the last bastion of hope for the tournament, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
This is pretty much it. If you want to have hope, legitimate hope that you're going to make the tournament, this is one that you absolutely have to win.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, the hope is gone because of the way that they played in London and then the way that they played in Indianapolis. But I understand what you're saying. The reality is they can win this game and we can have that conversation.
I'll bet those people you're talking about for whom the hope is lost, if they win the game, I tell you this all the time, you never know how you're going to feel in the moment until the moment happens. If you go sweep Derrick Henry and you go sweep the Titans and you get out of that city who is the arch rival and you get on that plane with a win and you're going out with your friends on Sunday night and Monday and it's Thanksgiving week and you got the holiday week coming up and you've just beaten the Titans for the second time, I think those people that lost that hope will regain it just a little bit. Again, you got to squint to see that light at the end of the tunnel, but I think it's there. And that's how important it is. I think we'd all agree it's not there if you lose. It's not coming back if you lose the game.
And a lot of those people, by the way, are also people that when they squint to see the hope, they see a mustache.
Yeah. Well, meaning?
Meaning they want to see Minshew back
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
One game in.
Right. But again, win the game. I'm saying win the game, and just for a moment, you'll feel it a little.
They haven't seen Nick Foles go into victory formation yet.
That's
you
right.
know, that's the
right.
thing. Like, if he's able to do that, or if he does, throw for 330 yards and a win, that they will feel different. I'll say the other thing about it as well is not only the stuff that you mentioned, Frank, but look, there's 13 other games going on. There's going to be 13 losers. Right. Now, some of those losers aren't going to affect the Jaguars, but chances are some of them will. So not only do you get a win, but now you look at the landscape and you see, okay, well, we know either the Colts or the Texans are losing on Thursday night. What other help did you get? And, some weeks it's minimal. Some weeks you really get, a great turnout. So, it's one of those things that if they are, I don't think they're winning Sunday. But if they do win Sunday, I think all of a sudden that optimism does start to flow back a little bit because the perception will also be, particularly if Foles plays well in Nashville, well, he was rusty.
Right.
And now the rust is off. You see what he did in Nashville. And now, yes, you can go on a run because Nick is getting hot again like he's done in the past.
We'll take a break. Let's get into college football. When we come back, the playoff rankings are available. Do you like them? Do you agree with them? That's next, so stay with us.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings' studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Between the opening kickoff and the final whistle, there's a moment when the rubber hits the road.
Let's go, let's go!
Listen for the TireOutlet.com drive of the game. TireOutlet.com. Wholesale prices, premium service on 1010XL.
This is Hayes Carline for Harrell & Harrell. If you are in need of a personal injury attorney, you need someone with a deep level of compassion. That is Holt and Julie Harrell. I've known Holt and Julie for over 25 years. I played football with Holt at Bowles before we both went to Florida in 1994. He's such a great guy. Trust me, you can count on Holt and his sister Julie. They work hard for their clients, doing what they love, helping people in their time of need. Smart, savvy, but most important, compassionate. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell & Harrell at 251-1111.
All offers are with approved credit and out of conjunction. See dealer for complete details. Black Friday sales event.
Our biggest sale of the entire year is on now at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Arlington. Get employee pricing plus now through the end of the month. It's like the old employee pricing, but now you get more. You couldn't get a better deal if you worked for Chrysler. Save up to $10,000 off MSRP on Ram 1500 Bighorn. Get 0% for 60 months and save. Get your kicks on or off Atlantic Boulevard when you drive a new Wrangler Unlimited for only $259 a month. Every new Charger and Challenger is sale priced, starting at just $22.9. We've never been able to offer a price this low ever. $22.9. Every new Dodge Journey is sale priced at up to $7,000 off. Happy holidays from all of us at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Arlington, 9600 Atlantic Boulevard, across from the Regency Square Mall.
Jacksonville, want to fall in love with your ride all over again like I did? It's Leon Searce here. My friends over at R&R Tire Express hooked me up with 20-inch black Rhinos on Continentals. I love my new wheels. Stop in and check out their huge selection from chrome, racing, painted, machine, even off-road wheels. Then slap $50 down and R&R will install custom wheels and tires for your ride with their R&R 6-month same-as-cash plan. And an R&R installation is always free. As for the Leon Special, R&R will give you $100 off your purchase. For location, go to rnrtires.com.
Your local Cat dealer, Ring Power, has the equipment you need when you need it, daily, weekly, or monthly. Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done. Call Ring Power at 904-295-1062 or visit catrentalstore.com. That's Ring Power at 904-295-1062 or catrentalstore.com.
StreamSong, the ultimate buddy golf experience. 3 nights, 3 courses, 1 extraordinary golf experience. With the StreamSong Tour Package, you'll play 3 of the most highly acclaimed and widely pursued courses in the game today. StreamSong Black, Red, and Blue. The package includes 3 nights luxury guest room accommodation, 1 round on StreamSong Red, Blue, and Black, breakfast each day, and your choice of restaurants. To book your StreamSong Tour Package, please call 855-329-1936.
Edwin Watts Golf Shops is rolling back the savings with our pre-Black Friday sale happening this Friday through Sunday. It's our biggest sale of the year. Save 20% off everything in stock. Yes, 20% off everything in every department. Clubs, bags, shoes, balls and accessories, rangefinders, apparel, and more. All discounted at 20% off to kick off the holiday season. Don't miss our biggest sale of the year. Edwin Watts Golf Shops pre-Black Friday sale happening this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Sales excludes Bing and Scotty Cameron. Some other manufacturer restrictions may apply. See store for details.
John's Auto has been in Jacksonville for 32 years. That doesn't happen by cheating customers. At John's Auto, their reputation is in its work. Top quality for a lower price. It's full service at John's Auto. Brake, shocks, alignment, transmission, front end repair, tires, and they specialize in AC repair, whether it's the repair itself or getting your AC coolant checked. John's Auto, Arlington Road. Call 743-3857, a family-owned business.
2 wheels, a little time to cut loose, and some buddies who have your back. That feeling you get from chasing thrills with some friends is what Harley-Davidson is all about. The adventures you can have in an afternoon can make the kind of stories that turn into legends. A Harley costs less than you think, and our riding academy makes learning to ride easy. Check it out today at your dealer. Live your legend.
Adam Mack Harley Davidson. Get out and ride.
Ever wish a button could undo what you said at the office party?
Ned, my office, now.
A button for emptying the dishwasher.
Honey, dishes!
If you have sleep apnea but have trouble using CPAP, now there's a button to replace it. It's called Inspire. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with just a click of a remote. That's right, just a button. If you're struggling with CPAP, great sleep awaits at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
Baloo here for Key Buick GMC. How about the GMC Sierra 1500? It's a truck I own and I love. Right now, save over $14,000 on all 2019 trucks. Save up to $9,500 off all new select terrains in stock and up to $11,000 off the Acadia. Visit them today. We are professional grade. Whenever you buy a brand new Buick or GMC from Key, it comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. That's Key Buick GMC, Southside and Gate.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. This update brought to you by TIAA Bank. The Jaguars play the Titans on Sunday in Nashville. Nick Foles with a look at the Titans defense.
They have some really talented players. Obviously I'm focusing on their defense. They have some really talented players there. They do a great job in the secondary of disguising different blitzes. They're doing a nice job in man coverage. Obviously they have two dynamic safeties that really, are Pro Bowl caliber players. Been in the Pro Bowl, led the NFL in picks, so they have great ball skills. So it's gonna, they've been playing very well. It's gonna be a tough task for us.
Nick Foles earlier today, courtesy of Jaguars.com. The Jags and the Titans kick off this Sunday at 4:05. You'll hear that game here on 1010XL. 65 degrees at 4:01. Your time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
It's a Kitchen and Flooring Design Center Wednesday on The Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show on a Kitchen and Flooring Design Center Wednesday. So it's now time for What Floored Us, which is brought to you by the Kitchen and Flooring Design Center. If you walk around your house and you don't love your floors, or if you walk into your bathroom and you don't love your shower, well, head to floorsandkitchen.com or stop by their beautiful 2-story showroom on Southside Boulevard across from Tinseltown and talk to their friendly, experienced group of designers. We just talked about how important one game is. Well, you mentioned Thursday night, Hayes. The Texans and the Coltons square off. Coltons? The Texans and the Colts.
Go Coltons! Square
off. So they're in a battle for the first place in the AFC South. The winner of that game, according to ESPN's Football Power Index, the winner has a 74% chance to win the division. The loser, a 20% chance.
That?
One game for those two teams determines a whole heck of a lot, potentially.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that.
Because it's their second meeting. The Colts won the first one. Is that right? So I think that's why for Houston it's a real big-time game. Because I think the Colts won the first.
The Colts did win the first one. Yep, October 20th.
So if that's the thing in this, you get swept. It's just so hard to overtake that team.
When all the teams are bunched in there, absolutely.
All right, let's get to college football for a second. The rankings are out. LSU, Ohio State, Clemson, Georgia. No surprise to anybody, I don't think. Alabama 5th ahead of Oregon, and then Utah. So it's Alabama, Oregon, Utah. Surprised, or did you expect it that way?
It's interesting. I think the committee didn't want, maybe they thought it was in poor taste to penalize Alabama for the Tua injury until they at least watch them play without Tua for, against in the Iron Bowl.
Don't hate on Mac Jones.
Yeah, so I still think that there's no chance Alabama gets in because of the Tua injury, but I think they were maybe worried of a backlash to that if they dropped them all of a sudden, really, to be honest, it might be hard to drop them. If you were going to drop Alabama below Oregon, you might also feel compelled to drop them below Utah as well. So maybe it was, let's avoid that. It'll sort of work itself out, and we'll see. I have no problem with the committee considering injuries. I think you should. The year that the NCAA tournament committee took grief over Kenyon Martin's injury at Cincinnati, and they didn't award Cincinnati a 1 seed, even though their resume said 1 seed. But Kenyon Martin, who was I want to say he went number 1 in the next draft. He was an unbelievable collegiate player. Hurt his knee in the conference tournament. It wasn't going to be available for the tournament, and they didn't give him a 1 seed, and they caught a lot of heat for that. I thought it was the right move because I do think that matters, and so I think eventually the Tua injury will hurt Alabama. Maybe the committee's hoping that Auburn sort of does the work for them, and if they win the Iron Bowl, then you drop Alabama and there's no backlash.
I will tell you this. The one thing about the playoff rankings is don't think that because you're 5 and someone else is 6, it's hard for someone to jump you. There's no jumping. It's just different every week. That's in the old school rankings, you didn't want someone to be 2 spots ahead of you going into the last week because you couldn't jump them because there weren't a lot of if neither team lost, nobody jumped. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Well, the playoff rankings don't work like that. You could be what was the year that TCU was like 3rd forever or 4th forever until the final one, and then you're like 8th. You remember that? Like one night, right. TCU was 4th. Everybody thought they were in because they were 4th for 5 weeks in a row, and then they were out of the top 4, the one that mattered. So this doesn't matter. Today's ranking has no bearing on what the final ranking will be. There's no jumping and not jumping. Having said that, I'm very interested to see what they do with Alabama. What if Alabama in 2 weeks or a week from Saturday hangs 48-14 on Auburn, at Auburn, which is certainly conceivable? What if that happens?
Then you don't penalize them for the Tua injury.
Then do they stay above Oregon? So
they would, in my opinion, at that point, because that's who Oregon lost to, is Auburn.
That's what I'm saying. If you put 48-14 on the Auburn team that beat Oregon, and then Oregon beats Utah in the Pac-12 game, does that mean Alabama's in with Mac Jones? That's how important that game is, because I really do think you talk about eye test. This is really style points and eye test and all those things that everybody hates really comes into play now with Alabama. Really does. So, and by the way, I think Alabama's going to beat Auburn. I'll tell you right now, with Mac Jones playing quarterback, I think right now, with Jerry Jones playing quarterback, I think they're going to beat Auburn.
Alabama has a ton of weapons.
Yeah, I will say this as somebody who picked Auburn on Saturday, I'll never pick Auburn again for the rest of Auburn. I don't care when we do this bowl game contest. I don't care what bowl they're in. I don't care who they're playing. I've got Auburn losing.
If they're playing Liberty in the Independence Bowl,
I like Liberty by 1.
Okay,
if you watch the second half of that Auburn game, you saw Bo Nix and the Auburn offense come to life a little bit, but still he just doesn't have what it takes, at least his freshman season, to be able to get the job done.
And what a great moment for Mac Jones, a Jacksonville guy here. Look, it's awful that Tua got hurt. He's not only a great player, he's a wonderful kid. He's a Christian guy. He's a spiritual person that cares about people. And Tua is good he is a good person and a good soul on every count in addition to being a really good player. But he did get hurt. You can't change that now. What a moment for Mac Jones playing the most important game of his life, the most important game of Alabama's season, because I'll say it again, you roll Auburn. Now, 28-27, and you get a couple calls. I don't know that you're in ahead of the Oregon-Utah winner. But you roll them, I think you're in. And I never thought that. At first I thought they were in, then I thought they weren't. It's an interesting dynamic. Again, LSU, Ohio State, Clemson, Georgia, Alabama. If Georgia beats Clemson, they both win out, and in the SEC championship game, Georgia beats LSU 38-37 because Blankenship hooks one in from 52 that grazes the upright and is still good. LSU and Georgia are both in, right?
Yes.
Then there's no debate. If that happens, LSU's a one-loss team that lost one game by a ball that grazed inside the upright. Okay, they're both in. Alabama then out? Have to be, right?
They would have to be out. There's no way the SEC.
You can't put a third team in.
No.
You can't put a third team in.
Correct.
So then Ohio State and Clemson are the other two. So if that happens, it almost doesn't matter what happens with Oregon, Utah, right?
In that instance, I don't think it will. I almost don't know that, unless we really get chaos, I don't know that Oregon-Utah is going to matter anyway. And I hate to say that because it's a great matchup of two one-loss teams, and it doesn't look like they're going to get caught or upset before they meet each other. But I am kind of wondering if that game is going to ultimately end up really mattering.
Yeah, no. If I'm Oregon, though, I'm certainly upset if two SEC teams, again, any other conference that has a conference champion that doesn't get in and the SEC gets 2 in, you're going to be furious. And that's what people are hoping for, because then maybe the expansion to 8 teams and the college football playoff tournament expands a little bit more.
Let's talk some NFL football. That's next. We continue. It's 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings' studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Are you picturing yourself in a new home next year getting ready for the holidays? If you're serious about selling your home, then you need Open Door. Lauren Brooks here for Open Door, the easy and convenient way to sell your house. Selling your home is difficult enough, trust me. I've been through the process, and it can take months for your home to sell. Now with Open Door, all I had to do was go to Open Door's website, enter in my home details and neighborhood information, and I received my free competitive offer in under 24 hours. And of course, that's why some of my friends have already gone through Open Door to sell their homes, and they raved about their experience. When you can stop worrying, you can start moving on. You'll enjoy complete flexibility and control of your moving timeline, and you can get paid in a matter of just days after closing. You can get your free competitive offer at opendoor.com/myoffer today, like I did and thousands of others have. That's opendoor.com/myoffer. Offer eligibility varies.
Now, the Lamb Rant, brought to you by the Best Bet Card Rooms at Jacksonville and Orange Park.
If the Gators beat FSU and finish 10-2, my vote for National Coach of the Year goes to Florida's Dan Mullen. Back-to-back double-digit victory seasons, Mullen has the Gators back in the conversation as an elite program. No one deserves the title as Mr. Seminole more than the current interim coach Odell Haggins. He was an outstanding player at FSU and never left Tallahassee, serving as an assistant under Bobby Bowden, Jimbo Fisher, and Willie Taggart. He has excelled as an interim head coach, but I don't see him as a head coach. Too many rough edges. Stop slamming Alabama's Nick Saban for playing Tua Tagovailoa against Mississippi State. Tua was cleared by the doctors to play, and keeping him in the game for the first half was no big deal. And finally, no coach has more pressure on him than Georgia's Kirby Smart. Fair or not, Smart needs to beat the SEC West champ, or the heat will get hotter.
Check out Uncle Dave's column at 1010XL.com on the homepage. Look for Lamb at Large.
Hey gang, your Fenwick Plumbing pros know you put a lot of work into prepping your home for Thanksgiving, but are you ready for that old, inefficient water heater to quit right when you need it most? Don't wait for your showers to go cold. Beat the holiday rush and take $100 off your new water heater now. Plus, get a 1-year warranty. Don't wait for your holiday guests to get here. So call the Fenwick Plumbing Pros today and mention me, Jeff, when you call. 660-0556 or visit fenwickplumbing.com.
Enjoy football this season without worrying about pest control inside of your home or outside in the yard. Peninsular Pest Control has served homes and businesses in Northeast Florida since 1954. This family-owned and operated business receives annual Super Service Awards from Angie's List and have been voted the Bold City's best lawn care and pest control service 5 years in a row. Learn more about Peninsular Pest Control at CritterGetter.com or call 389-3491.
You've been injured in a car accident, and the insurance company denies your medical bills, denies to pay your lost wages, and won't repair your car. Then it's time to fight back. Time to call Farah and Farah at 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Daly's convenience stores are all over the First Coast, and one thing you'll always see once inside Daly's is a cooler full of Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL. And every game goes great with a cold Bud Light. So head to your local Daly's the next time you stock up for the big game. You'll be famous among friends.
The best of XL Primetime Replay is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, helping you be the best when you play.
I would have rather the whole team went to Vegas, partied their asses off, drank, smoked, enjoyed the nightlife, and then give them an excuse.
You're talking
for how
during the bye
badly,
week.
Yeah, on the bye week, to give them an excuse how badly they played on Sunday.
In person, you can actually see what makes a Diamond's Direct diamond so superior to an ordinary diamond. But on the radio, you can actually hear the difference. Here is a diamond from Diamond's Direct. And here's a diamond from that other store. Or, worse yet, a diamond from one of those online brokers. The fact is, Diamonds Direct's diamonds always have more sparkle, more fire, more brilliance, because each one is carefully chosen by people who know quality and who refuse to compromise. Real, rare, precious diamonds. From the core of the earth to the hands of the most skilled cutters, then graded and certified by the most stringent and reputable gem labs. Indeed, these are the world's finest. Excellent cut, perfect clarity, eye-catching brilliance, spectacular sparkle. It all adds up to a virtual symphony of excellence in a diamond that shines like no other. Diamonds Direct. Music to her ears.
You don't think this would be a good moment to text somebody?
There's never a bad moment to share your opinion on the 1010XL text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Share your opinion
as soon as possible
at 641-1010.
This is the Mangler. By now you've heard my commercial for Advanced Disposal on our need for CDL drivers. As a result, we've added some good drivers to our team. However, we still have some positions to fill. We're looking for CDL drivers in Northeast Florida, especially in Clay County, St. Johns County, and yes, Duval! Come be a starter on our team. Earn a solid wage and get full benefits. Head to our website, advanceddisposal.com/careers, and get signed up today. That's advanceddisposal.com/careers.
Equal opportunity employer.
Hey Jaguars fans, tired of being late to the game because you're still stuck in traffic or circling the block looking for a parking spot? Next time, join thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smart way to get to the stadium is on the JTA Game Day Express. Express shuttles run from 5 convenient Jacksonville locations, and tickets start at just $8 on the MyJTA mobile app. The Game Day Express. It's like winning before the game even starts.
JTA Game Day Express is sponsored in part by Whataburger and 1010XL.
All offers are with approved credit and not in conjunction. See dealer for complete details. Black Friday sales event.
Our biggest sale of the year is on, with all the savings you can't resist at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Bay Meadows. Get a new Jeep Cherokee for only $211 a month. Get into a new Ram for just $248 a month. Or drive a Dodge Challenger from just $289 a month. Take advantage of employee pricing plus and go home happy. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, I-295 and Bay Meadows.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
It's a Kitchen and Flooring Design Center Wednesday on The Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hey, thanks for stopping by with Lauren Brooks, Andrew Gibson, and Hayes Carline. I'm Frank Frangie. We got another Loser Monday coming up tomorrow, don't we?
That's right.
How about that?
I think we do. I'm on the clock.
So what will the order be?
It will be me, and then Lauren, and then you, and then Mr. Perfect, Andrew Gibson.
So the last two losers, then me, the most recent loser, then Andrew. I think we may just have to start assigning Andrew a team. Okay,
we might.
And I think Andrew's going to pick the Dolphins to win. Okay, just for that reason.
It would be funny, like if he picked something totally zany,
and
because he's so hot, and it came in.
It still came in.
I have a rule that I don't pray about football games. Right, like even if it's a game
Loser Monday.
Even if it's a game I really want my team to win, like even this year's Florida Georgia game, which meant everything.
Yeah.
Right, I still won't pray about football. No. I might have been praying, as you mentioned, Loser Monday, as the 49ers were down to the Cardinals. I might have been like, dear God. I cannot lose again. Like, I just became the biggest loser. I cannot lose again.
So you shouldn't pray about a football game.
No, I don't believe so.
All right.
I think there are more important things.
Yeah, there's way more important things, like a 12-foot bending putt with $100 on the line. Can I pray for that or no?
You can pray for whatever you want.
A 12-foot right to left downhill with $100 on the line. Can I pray for? Hey, what's your ruling on that?
Well, absolutely.
I mean, I might go ahead and kneel down and cross myself before I putt.
And I'm not saying you can't. I just decided a long time ago that's probably not the best way. If I'm gonna pray, it should probably be something.
A lot of my buddies are listening right now saying, the way you putt, prayer ain't going to help, bro. Okay? the prayers really aren't going to help.
When was the last time you played golf?
August 2nd, I think. August 2nd.
And if you were a hacker, you would know the exact amount of days since then and now.
Early August. Last time I had a golf ball. I got to get out and play. Probably the first part of the year we'll do that. I haven't played a lot of golf. So is Josh Allen, not this Josh Allen, that Josh Allen, going to be a good player? Are you sold yet?
I'm not sold, no. I mean, he's.
I'm getting closer to sold.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. I think it starts with, the Bills are happy with him. The Bills are winning. That obviously, when you compare him to Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, the guys that he was selected with, or right around, that means a lot. I still wonder if the passing is going to come around enough for Josh Allen. Now, some of it could be weapons in his defense. John Brown's having a very nice year for Buffalo. They don't have, I would say, a whole lot else around him. So I don't think he has a spectacular group of skill guys to throw to. But you're talking about a guy that hovers around 60%, not even a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. Certainly he gives you a lot of mobility and scrambling. So I think it is encouraging where Josh Allen is, but he has not had that meteoric rise. So, I am kind of curious if we'll see that. Is this a player that is maybe got a little bit more, more elevation to make up the rankings, but are we going to see that big breakthrough? So I think good, but I don't think great.
I don't even know if I can go with good yet. Against the two best defenses that he's played, his completion percentage was 46% against the Patriots and 47% against the Eagles. Yes, he got hurt in the Patriots game, but your completion percentage, your attempts doesn't change that much. So this is a guy who, if there's a defense that can confuse him, he's in trouble.
Is he Bortles?
He's
better
than
than Bortles.
Yeah, he was better. But,
Yeah.
is he that
he's similar.
big guy, athletic, throws a better ball?
I think he's a more elusive, speedier
he's a
version.
good runner. He's a very good runner.
Yeah.
But, Bortles is a good runner.
He is.
Bortles
But Bortles was sort of a plotter. Like, Bortles had to take a couple of steps.
And never
I agree.
really
He didn't
seemed
have
to
quick
know,
feet.
Yeah.
Never really seemed to know when to run for the majority of his career.
Bortles?
Either. Yeah.
You think?
I think he ran sometimes because he had absolutely nothing else, but I don't think it ever went through his head, I need to take off and run.
See, I disagree with that. I thought Bortles was a good runner and knew when to run. I thought that part of his game was pretty good. The bad part of Bortles' game is whenever a good passer. And by the way, it's the NFL and you're the quarterback. But I actually thought he ran pretty well.
But he did in 2017. Before that, I don't know.
So I think Josh Allen might be pretty good. Big, strong guy, good arm, very athletic, which is we've talked ad nauseum on this program about the importance of that. Play the Broncos. Then it gets a little stickier because then after that, we'll see. At the Cowboys, home against the Ravens, at the Steelers, who are very good defensively, at the Patriots. So at the Cowboys, home against the Ravens, at the Steelers, at the Patriots, we'll learn way more about Josh Allen. But I don't know, because he was beat up so much when he got into the league. He might be pretty good. I don't think he's headed to being Tom Brady or Drew Brees, but I wouldn't be surprised if you look up in a few years, he's a pretty good player.
Maybe he's this generation's Matt Stafford. I mean, maybe he's a guy that will have some nice stat years. Will certainly last. Never really seems to be in danger of losing his job, but also never seems to be ready to elevate himself to the top 7 at his position. Just constantly hovers and is such a athletic specimen that helps him as well. Stafford more with just the rare arm strength. Josh Allen with more of just the versatile running and arm strength. But I wonder if that's sort of the career that he settles into, which isn't a bad thing. And, I think if Matt Stafford had been on another team other than Detroit, his overall success as a team and his record might be much better. But that's sort of who I wonder if he'll be. Somebody who never necessarily is in danger of losing the job, but also doesn't, rarely goes to the Pro Bowl.
Take a break. I'm going to get to Joey Gatewood. We touched on it at the top of the program. You were on your way back from the stadium. Where should Joey go? What would you do if you're Joey Gatewood? That's next. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings' studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hi, folks. It's Frank Frangie. Start your college football weekend with Hayes Carline, Lauren Brooks, and me every Saturday morning at 11:30 on CW17 for Saturday Morning Rush. We'll discuss the Gators, Noles, Dogs, and more. Watch The Rush Saturday mornings at 11:30 on CW17. Hey, if you want an insurance agent you can trust, how about my guy Craig Dewhurst from State Farm? You call him at 940-9740. Insurance is a quirky thing, man. You never know how much you should be paying. Life insurance, automotive insurance, medical, whatever it is, you never know. It's great to have an expert, that's A. And B, it's great to have an expert you trust and you like and you believe in. And that's what you've got with Craig Dewhurst from State Farm. Call him at 940-9740. You'll never have another insurance agent once you've used Craig. He's that good. Craig Dewhurst of State Farm. Call him at 940-9740.
All offers are with approved credit and not in conjunction. See dealer for complete details. Black Friday sales event.
We're pulling out all the stops to get you the best deal of the year on a new car, truck, SUV, or minivan at Jacksonville, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Bay Meadows. Go like a Hellcat when you drive home in a new Dodge Challenger from just $289 a month. Save up to $8,000 off MSRP today. You can't beat our selection. Save up to $7,500 on a new Charger. Drive a new Wrangler Unlimited from only $269 a month. See our inventory at jaxcjdr.com. If you worked at Chrysler, you couldn't get a better deal than employee pricing plus a once-in-a-decade chance to save big. Ask us today about employee pricing plus. Upside down on your current ride, right now is the best time to trade in and trade up. Drive a new car, and in most cases, we can lower your monthly payment. Happy holidays from all of us at Jacksonville, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, I-295, and Bay Meadows.
Fall and football create the best season of the year, and I have almost everything I need to root for my favorite team. All I'm missing is the ultimate game day meal. Luckily, Publix, the official supermarket of the Jaguars, is bringing back the Jaguar sub for a limited time. You'll love the Publix Deli hot chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, cheddar cheese, sweet coleslaw, and barbecue mayonnaise on a white sub roll. And so I don't miss kickoff, I can place my order online for in-store pickup. Go to Publix.com/JagSub to get your Jaguar sub. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Are you looking to add space, maybe remodel your home or business, or even build a custom home? You need a pro that you can trust. Lloyd's Construction and Consulting is a family-owned company built on honesty, quality, and dedication to the customer's true needs. Experts in residential and commercial construction, with over 30 years of experience, their team makes it easy. So don't start your project without giving the pros at Lloyd's a call. Lloyd's Construction and Consulting, providing first-class construction services. Lloyd'sConstruction.net.
Gentlemen, discover the new medical treatment that Viagra doesn't want you to know about. I'm Bradley I with Synergenics Elite Health, and we offer GainsWave. It's a simple 20-minute in-office procedure. GainsWave is non-invasive, and it restores the poor blood flow that causes ED. Stop popping pills and scheduling intimacy. Call 904-500-5500. Consultations are free. Mention this radio station for $150 off your first treatment. Call Synergenics Elite Health at 904-500-5500 to learn about the GainsWave ED treatment today.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Keep up with the latest Bulldog news and notes. I'm Andrew Gibson. Catch my Bulldog reports on 1010XL.
Brought to you by Culhane's Irish Pub on Atlantic Beach and in Tinseltown.
Peace of mind. It's one of the most important things we can have, and sometimes the most elusive. I'm Mark Anajar from the Law Office of Anajar and Levine. Notifying the police is always a good idea. They can assist in documenting the accident and being a good source of information. Always put your health first and get medical attention if necessary. Take pictures if possible. If you've been in an accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
Office in Jacksonville.
I love the fall in Jacksonville. You know what else is absolutely out of this world? The fall over at the Blue Crab House. Sit out on that deck, enjoy the best Bloody Marys in town. Absolutely a staple right here throughout the city. Located on Julington Creek Road in San Jose, the best seafood, crabs, oysters, it does not matter. Locally owned and operated going back to 1996. I'm talking about the Blue Crab House, located on Julington Creek Road in San Jose.
A problem with your sewer? Dial 695-1901. Don't tell me, let me guess, call Metro Router. Dial 695-1901 or MetroRouter.com.
Nobody likes to have plumbing problems at their home or business, but if you do, call Metro Router. We provide fast same-day service with the right parts and equipment on hand to get you up and running. For all your plumbing and septic tank needs, call the best. Just pick up the phone and dial
695-1901 or MetroRouter.com.
At
Edwin Watts Golf Shops is rolling back the savings with our pre-Black Friday sale happening this Friday through Sunday. It's our biggest sale of the year. Save 20% off everything in stock. Yes, 20% off everything in every department. Clubs, bags, shoes, balls and accessories, rangefinders, apparel, and more. All discounted at 20% off to kick off the holiday season. Don't miss our biggest sale of the year. Edwin Watts Golf Shops. Pre-Black Friday sale happening this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Sales excludes Bing and Scotty Cameron. Some other manufacturer restrictions may apply. See store for details.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to one commercial today, listen to this one.
Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet are doing it again. This year, we will recognize 12 local heroes in our community and honor them with a brand new vehicle. 12 heroes will be getting 12 new vehicles. Nominate a law enforcement officer, firefighter, EMT, nurse, teacher, veteran, and new this year, your local WOW hero. Head to localwowheroes.com to nominate and vote today. Let's wow our heroes.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
It's a Kitchen and Flooring Design Center Wednesday on The Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. If you want to update your home, go see our friends at the Kitchen and Flooring Design Center. Frank Hayes, Gibby, and Lauren with you until 6 p.m. this evening. Then the Best Bet Poker Show takes over. If you're Joey Gatewood and you have decided you are going to leave Auburn University because you feel like you deserve a starting quarterback role, where will you go?
Well, I'll tell you this. I don't know Joey well enough. I don't know Joey. I know people that know him. I don't know enough about him to know what he wants to do. I've heard he likes the idea of going to Florida. I've heard that he would like it if Florida wanted him. But having said that, I can also tell you that I wouldn't go to Florida if I'm Joey Gatewood if I want to play right now. So there's a lot of factors in place. Number one, he's not a graduate. So we're still in this limbo is what's going to happen with the with the transfers who are not graduates. I think everybody seems to agree that the NCAA is going to pass a one-time forgiveness rule that you can transfer one time with impunity, no matter where you go and when you go, and you can play right away. You won't be able to do it a second time. But I think that there seems to be a belief that the NCAA is going to pass a rule where you can transfer one time and play. But
they can't seem to make up their minds on who should be able to play right away and who shouldn't.
Correct. It's way too inconsistent. So I think that's going to happen. But I don't know that it's going to happen by the time Joey Gatewood. Now, look, Gatewood can claim that, hey, he got a raw deal because his competition's dad played there and there was pressure. And in this day and age, you generally get it when you right that you get anytime you have any kind of a claim at all. So let's assume for now he's going to be able to play right away. All right.
And because Joey's from here, that whole NCAA rule as far as the distance, if he was to claim that a family member was ill or something like that, isn't it 90 miles?
Yeah, I think if he had a family member that is ill, yeah, but I don't think that's in play as far as I know.
Sure, but I just wonder if Gainesville is a possibility because of that rule.
Could be if he had a sick family member, but let's just assume he's going to be eligible. All right, wherever he goes, let's assume he's going to be eligible. All right, you want to play in Gainesville again. Kyle Trask is it would like Pat Dooley said yesterday, and I agree. If a healthy Kyle Trask isn't the starter, there's an investigation. He came off the bench, led you to an 11-win season, and I think Emory Jones will battle him. But I'd be shocked if Kyle Trask doesn't start the season. Either way, those are your two leading guys. I think, as we talked about, Franks will probably go somewhere else. Even Pat said that at some point. So I don't know that you go there if you just went through this not getting to play. Now do you go do it again where you might not get to play? So I don't think so. Florida State, if you don't know who the coach is, but you've got to believe that's a quarterback situation that's up for grabs, right? James Blackman's okay. Jordan Travis looks like he's a really good runner, but I don't think the quarterback situation scares you based on who the coach is. We don't know who the coach is, but I would think that's a prominent school looking to be on the upswing. That's got to be in play. I just find myself thinking that Joey Gatewood would rather be the Kentucky quarterback. I just say that because we know he visited there. Would rather be the Kentucky quarterback. And by the way, we're talking Kentucky's not Southern Miss or East Carolina. It's an SEC school that won 7 games last year or 8 games last year.
Last year they won 10.
Or 10, yeah. It was a 10?
Yeah, they were in the Citrus Bowl.
Okay. It's an SEC school that won 10 games last year. 10. It's an SEC school that won. When did they win 7 or 8? It was when they were in the Gator Bowl 2 years ago. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's not this isn't East Carolina we're talking about. That's kind of the point. So I think you'd rather be the starter at Missouri or Kentucky or NC State than you would fighting for a job again with an incumbent. Now, is Georgia in play? I don't pretend to know what's behind Jake Fromm. I don't even know.
Carson Beck.
Well, that's right. That's right. So you know what? You'd have to be battling, of course, you'd have to be battling Carson Beck, who's a true freshman.
Right. But LSU, a team that certainly has a guy that's going to be headed into the draft.
Yeah, I'm going on a limb and saying Joe Burrow's going to be gone. A, he's a senior. B, he's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah. So if the perfect world is prominent elite school that needs a quarterback to be the named starter. That's the perfect world, right?
Right.
But I don't know, Hayes, that you're getting both. I think you're getting not quite elite school that can name you the starter, or elite school where you're going to have to fight for the job. Where would you go?
I think he's going to go where he can be the starter. And I think him visiting Kentucky sort of tells you that, because if my guess is if you had an inkling that LSU or Alabama or Georgia were going to have an interest, then you're probably not even at this point bothering to go visit Kentucky unless he has like a personal connection to somebody on the team or that goes there or something. Maybe he liked Mark Stoops maybe in the recruiting process, and but Kentucky doesn't belong in that group. So that would tell me that he probably isn't getting that kind of elite level interest. And so if Kentucky is the range of school that he's in on, and that's not a bad place to be, as you said, Mark Stoops has built a nice program there, then that's sort of where I would think. I mean, it seems pretty clear he wants to, play in the SEC, and, you look through that, and I don't know that there's that many situations. I mean, does South Carolina, how do they feel about Helinski? Missouri has, Kelly Bryant, but that may be too, even though it's the SEC, that may be a little bit of a distance. It's hard to know exactly what's at the top of the list, but I would think for a kid that committed to Auburn as a sophomore, told everybody else that came at him, I'm going to Auburn. I've made a commitment. I'm not wavering off that. For 3 years, he stuck with that, honored it, went to Auburn, and never got a chance to play. When they're letting a guy play who can't throw a football from me to you and on a down that they've got to have it, I think he is going to go where the depth chart is completely open for him to walk right in and be the day one starter. So, yeah, I would think more Kentucky in that range than going – certainly Florida makes no sense for Joey Gatewood. I mean, just makes no sense. Because you may not play.
Right. What Kyle Trask has over all of them, Emory, maybe not Felipe as much, although I don't think Felipe will be there. Any new guy coming in, Anthony Richardson, Gatewood if he transfers there, he's played big minutes, man. He brought them back from Kentucky when they were about to lose. He started against Tennessee, one of the biggest rivals they have. He played on a Saturday night in Death Valley. He beat a very good Auburn team. He went toe-to-toe and lost by 7 to a very good Georgia team, a great Georgia team. He's about to play Florida State. How in the world do you compete with that? How do you compete with that kind of experience? That's the thing. You talk about big game experience. I mean, what could Kyle Trask possibly do to lose the job? I mean, assuming he doesn't go 8 for 40 against FSU. Well, right. But I mean, and he has had some injuries.
Right.
But assuming he doesn't really just wet the bed against Florida State, what could he possibly do to not be the starter next year?
Kyle Trask?
Yeah.
I don't think it's as far-fetched as you guys do.
You think August may come around and Emory Jones is the starting quarterback?
Absolutely.
Wow.
I
think that too?
I do think there is a chance. Is it what I would bet on? No,
Yeah.
I would not bet on it. But I could see Dan Mullen, and we talked about it. A lot of it is attrition. Dan Mullen has said, we've got to play to who we are. Well, if they lose Grimes and Tony early to the draft, and really you've got Jacob Copeland and Kyle Pitts coming back, you're not going to be able to throw it effectively. I mean, unless they develop a bunch of true freshmen. So it seems like at that point your strength is going to completely flip to the run game. You've got an offensive line that's coming back. Put a quarterback in there that's mobile and hope that you can grind out 700, 800 yards on the ground from that player and Emory Jones, and then get, rushing yardage from Pierce and Malik Davis and Clement and whoever else they have in the stable that comes in. But I see Florida, if they get hit hard by the NFL, which they always seem to get hit hard by the NFL, then I almost think you have to totally flip your offensive identity. And at that point, I don't know how Trask really fits into that.
Yeah, I think you make a valid point, but I do wonder if he gets the first team reps all offseason, Kyle Trask does, how much more of a mobile runner does he become when Dan Mullen has all the time to mold him versus this past offseason and the past few offseasons where it hasn't been like that at all?
Yeah, I would, again, we'll see.
I mean, if you get Grimes and Tony back, now I think Kyle Trask can be incredibly effective because you've got Grimes, Copeland, Tony, Pitts. That's 4 really good, really versatile weapons that Kyle Trask should really be able to take advantage of on a week-in and week-out basis. I'm just saying, if your receiving core is completely depleted,
right,
I could see Dan Mullen saying, we got to go with Emory Jones.
And I'd be shocked if Kadarius Toney goes to the NFL based off of this season.
Right. Yeah, and I would just think, whoever the quarterback is, I think they'll have to have some newness at receiver, but I think between Copeland and Pitts, who will be there, I think if Rick Wells is any good, between Grimes and Tony, I think someone will be back. I'm not real worried about the receivers. I don't think it'll be like they are this year because they have these veteran guys. So I don't agree with you, but I do get this point. You recruited Emory Jones to play, and you recruited him. Hey, you are a big part of what we're doing. You are kind of the cornerstone of our early years here. You want to give him you don't want him to become Gatewood, who doesn't get to play at all. So I could certainly see packages, both of them playing. I just think that Kyle Trask has been a marvelous find, but gives you a wonderful conundrum. I think he's become really good. It's just rarely do you see a senior quarterback coming back. I don't care style of play. Rarely do you see a senior quarterback coming back who was really good as a junior that doesn't start. Now Alex Hornibrook didn't, right? He was pretty good. Didn't he get beat out during the season, though, I think?
Oh, did
last
he?
year at Wisconsin. I think
he won a bunch of games, but maybe.
Yeah, so we'll see what
By the
happens.
way, going back to Gatewood, circling back to him, how the conversation started, either way, regardless of whether it's Trask or Jones, and even throw Felipe in the mix if he decides to stay, I'd still rather go to a school where if I'm going to pick a new destination, it's going to be me battling one guy or me being named the starter, absolutely.
And I think there's a lot of schools that are prominent schools that you would think you could have I think Jared Williams is okay, but I think he'd be in the hunt there. FSU, whoever the coach is, doesn't have much there. Georgia has Carson Beck, who's never played a game. So I
don't think Carson Beck's going to scare off Joey Gatewood.
You wouldn't think. No. You wouldn't think any recruit's going to scare off Joey
If he
Gatewood.
wants to go to – if George is interested and he's interested.
A lot of places where you'd have a chance to fight for the job. We'll take a break. More in a moment. 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings Studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
If you're driving around town right now, well then listen up. Scrubbles Car Wash now has 2 locations, the one you know and love in the St. John's Town Center and one now open in Fleming Island, located at 1725 Eagle Harbor Parkway. Lauren Brooks here, and good news, Scrubbles has even more locations to come. Scrubbles uses quality soaps and solutions that help keep your vehicle streak-free. You'll love the Scrubbles Tunnel Wash, and the Soapy Light Show experience is one the whole family will enjoy. Every 3-minute car wash package from Scrubbles comes with self-serve vacuuming, lint-free towels, window cleaner, and a free air freshener. Remember, trust the bow tie. You'll know quality once you arrive.
Turn up the heat on the insiders, playmakers, and newsmakers on the Duval Honda Hot Seat. Hot Seat with Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL. Duval Honda. The closest Duval dealer is in your driveway.
Drop everything and hurry into your First Coast Acura dealers for our Season of Performance event. Get huge holiday savings on luxury sedans and SUVs. Steal a deal today at Acura of Orange Park and Duval Acura. FirstCoastAcuraDealers.com.
My name is Janice. I'm a client of Brett Hastings. Brett is the most brilliant, diligent, hardworking attorney I have ever met. He is truly dedicated to his clients and fights for them to the very end. Brett fought hard to win a large personal injury lawsuit for me. They are the very best legal team I have ever met. I would hire them again in a heartbeat.
Learn more at justiceforjacksonville.com. Law offices of Brett Hastings, where the injured find justice.
Roll in, roll out, roll away with a great deal from Gate. Right now, enjoy any 2 Tornado Roller Grill items in your favorite flavors and any size Best Bean Coffee for only $3. Try fan favorites like the Sausage, Egg, and Cheese Tornadoes paired with the bold, rich flavor of Best Bean Coffee for a breakfast that's sure to get you rolling. But hurry in, offer ends January 1st. Gate, serving up more.
Georgia Bulldog football. Hear the Dogs fight for the SEC East.
Brought to you by Meineke Car Care
And the Bailey Group. Catch live play-by-play action on 1010XL.
Ever wish a button could undo what you said at the office party?
Ned, my office now.
A button for emptying the dishwasher.
Honey, dishes!
If you have sleep apnea but have trouble using CPAP, now there's a button to replace it. It's called Inspire. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with just a click of a remote. That's right, just a button. If you're struggling with CPAP, great sleep awaits at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
Now, guys, I'm going to say laser hair removal, and you're going to try to tune me out thinking that's something just for women. No, this is for everyone. Think about it. We all have embarrassing, unwanted hair. My husband, a great example of Ideal Image Med Spa, how they can change a guy's life, too. Celebrating Black Friday at Ideal Image, by the way, with BOGO. Buy one area of laser hair removal. Get the second area for free. Your back, your chest, your neck. Tired of dealing with that embarrassing, unwanted hair, right? Ideal Image Med Spa is America's #1 choice for laser hair removal. They only employ the top licensed nursing and medical professionals in the country, and Ideal Image offers in-house payment plans. Call. It's a private, complimentary consultation. 904-652-0652. That's 904-652-0652. Located at the Markets at Town Center, US 17, just south of Orange Park on Fleming Island, and St. Augustine in Diane's Marketplace. Medical Director Dr. Holly Hickman, idealimage.com.
2 wheels, a little time to cut loose, and some buddies who have your back. That feeling you get from chasing thrills with some friends is what Harley-Davidson is all about. The adventures you can have in an afternoon can make the kind of stories that turn into legends. A Harley costs less than you think, and our riding academy makes learning to ride easy. Check it out today at your dealer. Live your legend.
Adamak Harley-Davidson. Get out and ride.
Okay, here we go with our final lightning round on Potty Talk. Top 3 answers on the board. Ready? Okay. The best way to save money when your faucets or pipes are leaking.
Roland Reese Plumbing?
Something to help you avoid clogged sewers and drains.
Roland Reese Plumbing.
The technical term for that ba-whoosh sound when a toilet flushes correctly.
Roland Reese Plumbing.
Roland Reese Plumbing is always the right answer. Roland Reese Plumbing, 260-7059.
All offers are with approved credit and out of conjunction. See dealer for complete details. Black Friday sales event.
Our biggest sale of the entire year is on now at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Arlington. Get employee pricing plus.
Now through the end of the month.
It's like the old employee pricing, but now you get more. You couldn't get a better deal if you worked for Chrysler. Happy holidays from all of us at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Arlington. 9600 Atlantic Boulevard.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
It's a Kitchen and Flooring Design Center Wednesday on The Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
By the way, I meant to say this earlier, Carline, of the Bowl School. It's going to be easier for any quarterback who goes to Florida now because Nick Sproles is in the portal. How about that,
That's a tough loss right there.
You don't see that every day. Nick Sproles going to the portal.
I know. I'll be interested to see where he ends up.
Where old Nick winds up.
Presbyterian, maybe, or I don't know. But best of luck to him. And he's staying with the team until the season's over.
So there's that. So
he could go to Louisiana. There's been a precedent set for Florida quarterbacks going to that state.
So tomorrow on the program, from 2 to 4, right here in this very studio, the Gator basketball game will be on. You going to be watching? You going to watch?
No, I'm not. I'm going to do the show blindfolded.
That reminds me of, what was it, yesterday, the anniversary of Michael Jordan hitting the free throw blindfolded, making fun of Dikembe Mutombo or something like that. Did y'all see that?
Yeah. I don't have a lot of high hopes. I'm interested in, he had the talk with them about, the ranking and everything like that. I'm not saying that Florida can't be good by like mid-January. I mean, but clearly they have a lot of work to do. And I do wonder if, they're going to be able to solve their ticker problem, because they strike me as a team that can't handle adversity and doesn't have a lot of heart and gets pushed around by teams that that have an edge to them. And in the SEC, they're going to see a lot of that. So I'm not ready to write off the season, but I'm done watching them voluntarily until we get into SEC play. I'm going to give them 5-6 weeks to figure it out. Maybe 4 weeks, I guess, 5 weeks until they get into SEC play. So he's got December to figure it out. And the next time I watch them,
they better.
I'm expecting to see a different team.
So he's been put on notice is what's happened here.
Absolutely,
I don't
he's
mind,
been put
I don't
on
mind
notice.
putting a coach on notice, Brooks. Sometimes
Meanwhile,
you
I'll
have to
be
do it.
wearing orange and blue, and if I still had pom-poms like I did when I was little, I would bring those in the studio, because this team needs a little cheering on.
They might lose to St. Joe, by the way.
Of course they might lose.
They could go to 2 and 3.
St. Joe beat UConn.
They could go to 2 and 3. The team that was 6th to start the season could go to 2 and 3 tomorrow. I mean, there's a very real chance they could go to 2 and 3 tomorrow.
Certainly there is.
It's unbelievable.
They can't figure it out yet.
And they haven't. Yeah, I mean, they're missing wide open shots.
Yeah, and that really is the thing. The other thing he said that was interesting, and again, we'll have the game on while we're on the air tomorrow. But the other thing he said that was interesting, he said he's going to. I read somewhere where he's going to confab with his coaches and come up with how to change the offense, right? How to address the offense. Well, what I took that to mean is go bigger and throw it inside, right?
I think he pounded into them, be unselfish with the basketball, make sure you pass the ball a certain amount of times before a shot goes up. And maybe for this group of guys, for sure so far, that's not working.
Well, they play slow. Florida is one of I read this story on Saturday down south the other day. Neil Blackman, who's a good basketball guy, wrote. Did you see the story he wrote about them? They're one of the slowest playing teams in the country. They were like, and with analytics now, you can measure anything in any sport. So in terms of how slow you play, which I think means how quickly you get a shot up versus a shot clock, I think last year they weren't in the top 300. There's only 350
That would not surprise me.
Yeah, they play slow.
Because they had no post presence either, so they couldn't throw it
couldn't
down low.
Yeah, correct.
Now they do, but they still seem to be using the perimeter too much.
Yeah, so they're certainly looking for a shot.
Analytics could tell how fast you drink Diet Coke versus how slow I drink Diet Mountain Dew.
You know what? And I tell you what, I'd like to see what that is. I'd like to see my spin rate. My spin rate would be very good on drinking Diet Coke very quickly.
Or like you drinking a Bud Light versus Hayes drinking Crown and Coke?
Sure.
Jack and Coke?
And again,
either one is
Beam and
great.
Coke?
Very, very, very
Captain and Coke?
Right.
You're 4 for 4.
Yeah, right. The spin rate would be pretty good there, as a matter of fact. So very good spin rate. No, but I do think with this analytics thing, they play slow. Maybe play faster. Get it up. I mean, everything's opposite, right? The NFL quarterback's never supposed to be able to run. Now they all run. Okay. Baseball used to be you're supposed to throw ground balls, right, Gibby? We're all taught don't hit the ball in the air. For Gibby, you probably even as young as you are, you remember that, right?
Yeah, I never heard the term launch angle when I was a kid.
Yeah, don't hit the ball in the air. In the Major League, the whole thing is when Willie Mays Hayes hits a fly ball, or they make him do push-ups. Well, that's all changed. Now every baseball coach everywhere says try to hit it in the air. So and every quarterback is supposed to be a runner, right? Isn't everything changes in sports? It's backwards. Well, then all these coaches, instead of Hoosiers and Norman Dale saying 4 passes before a shot, let it fly. I think maybe it's just the opposite. Maybe what Mike White's going to do is they're going to play faster and shoot it faster, and we'll see.
Somehow, like we've talked about, his best shooters at times are either bricking the balls or air balls, as we've seen with Trey Mann, although he ended up suffering a concussion in that game. But maybe something that Mike White says to them during practice is making them almost afraid to shoot or making them think too much about their shots.
They do look tentative. They do look, and look, they're freshmen. They've only played 4 games as college. We sometimes forget when you have a team full of freshmen and sophomores, sometimes you play like freshmen. They're not all Kentucky's guys. See, Kentucky, and by the way, Kentucky's struggling too now.
Yep. Lost to Evansville.
Yeah, because they're playing these kids, and sometimes the kids have to figure out how to play, and we're not used to that because we haven't seen teams around here that play all freshmen and sophomores. Kentucky, it's a way of life now under Cal. So maybe it'll change. We'll see. Let's take a break. Let's get it back to Jaguars football at the bottom of the hour. We're going to start with Rick Catlett. He's going to join us and talk a little college ball, our Jack Sports Council College Football Report. He'll be on with us for a little bit. But then I want you to hear from Will Richardson, a little Jaguar talk coming up. All that after the top of the hour on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings Studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hayes Carlion from MyBookie.ag. Now is the time to turn all your sports knowledge into cash. It's time to bet, win, and get paid at MyBookie.ag. MyBookie has tons of football odds, but also has you covered on the NBA and college basketball. They can handle any parlay you can think of to win big. MyBookie has the Texans as a 4-point home favorite over the Colts on Thursday night. The Jaguars are a 3-point underdog at Tennessee on Sunday. In college football, Georgia is a 13-point home favorite over Texas A&M. The Canes are a 20.5-point favorite at FIU. If you join right now, MyBookie will match your deposit halfway, up to $1,000. That means if you deposit $2,000, you will get an extra $1,000 in free money to play. Just use promo code RADIO to activate the offer. Once again, that's promo code RADIO to take advantage of MyBookie's generous sign-up offer. You play, you win, you get paid at MyBookie.ag.
You can't go inside your home team's locker room, so Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline goes there for you.
I have to make some plays.
Check out Hayes' blog at 1010XL.com. Brought to you by Stone Core Outdoor Furniture, Jacksonville's Outdoor Solutions Center.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles update. The MLB season has ended, but collectors have enjoyed the new release of Topps High Tech. Distinct patterns and designs make high-tech cards of past, present, and future stars quite unique. Baseball season is year-round at Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
At Diamonds Direct, I feel like I got value. I feel like I got the better price.
That's Eric Utley, another unpaid, unrehearsed, unscripted, raving fan of Diamonds Direct.
It's a competitive price, but the quality stands above and beyond the competitors that we looked at and researched, and that's where I think Diamonds Direct really stands apart.
Eric and his fiancée did a lot of shopping and found not only the best value at Diamonds Direct, but the best experience.
When we went into the local, smaller jewelers, and then especially when we went into some of these bigger brands, we just found a lack of service and a lack of just listening to the needs and the wants of my fiance when making this buying decision.
But at Diamonds Direct,
they offered a much more consultative and listening approach where they were actually listening to what my fiance wanted. That really separated Diamonds Direct.
Diamonds Direct.
Don't waste your time. Head to Diamonds Direct.
Your love, our passion.
Off Town Center Parkway, just left of the Hyatt.
Here's a quick tip from your fast file bankruptcy expert, Don Dufresne with the law offices of Parker & Dufresne. It's never easy to rebuild your credit, but it is possible. At Parker & Dufresne, we recommend you utilize a secured credit card, then pay down your debts on time and pay more than your minimum payment due. Find more quick tips at jackslawcenter.com or call us at 904-733-7766. Relief, restore, renew. Parker & Dufresne, offices Jacksonville.
Welcome to More Than Enough Reason with Geico. You're at an amusement park on the first hill of the biggest roller coaster in the state.
Oh boy.
Your fear of heights was more than enough reason to never get on in the first place.
Acrophobia, schmacrophobia. That's what I say.
You've also got more than enough reason to switch to Geico. Because not only could Geico save you hundreds, but they're also the second largest insurer in the country. Now that's a track record you can trust.
Wow, I can see my house from...
And since Geico is available 24/7, it's no wonder customers have the faith to give them a 97% customer satisfaction rating, which is more faith than you have going into that second loop.
Eyes on the horizon! Eyes on the horizon!
So, as you notice you've been tensing muscles you never knew you even had, you can at least relax knowing Geico is always there for you online or over the phone. Now, if you could only get off this ride.
Okay, need a little help. Think I might have pulled something. Okay.
Geico. More reasons than ever to switch today.
This Saturday night, in an explosive pay-per-view event, Deontay Wilder faces Luis Ortiz for the heavyweight championship of the world.
What a shot!
And in an electrifying co-main, Leo Santa Cruz battles Miguel Flores for the super featherweight world title.
This one is over!
Wilder Ortiz, Santa Cruz Flores, Saturday at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, live on pay-per-view. Order now on the Fox Sports app.
Xfinity customers can order now by going to xfinity.com/boxing or just say boxing into your Xfinity voice remote.
The 1010XL restaurant of the day is Flame Broiler. For a healthy lunch alternative as low as $6 that includes chicken or Angus beef piled on top of rice and veggies, stop by one of their 4 Jacksonville locations today. Simple, fast, healthy. Flame Broiler.
Edwin Watts Golf Shops is rolling back the savings with our pre-Black Friday sale happening this Friday through Sunday. It's our biggest sale of the year. Save 20% off everything in stock. Yes, 20% off everything in every department. Clubs, bags, shoes, balls and accessories, rangefinders, apparel, and more. All discounted at 20% off to kick off the holiday season. Don't miss our biggest sale of the year. Edwin Watts Golf Shops. Pre-Black Friday sale happening this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Sales excludes Bing and Scotty Cameron. Some other manufacturer restrictions may apply. See store for details.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to one commercial today, listen to this one.
Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet are doing it again. This year, we will recognize 12 local heroes in our community and honor them with a brand new vehicle. 12 heroes will be getting 12 new vehicles. Nominate a law enforcement officer, firefighter, EMT, nurse, teacher, veteran, and new this year, your local WOW hero. Head to localwowheroes.com to nominate and vote today. Let's wow our heroes.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors. The Jaguars at 4-6 right now. Quarterback Nick Foles on where he sees the team right now.
This is where your culture is built. This is where you establish so many things in these trials, because it's not easy, because everyone's wanting to know, oh, why can't you do this? Why not this? Why aren't you there? Why aren't you in rhythm? Well, if you've ever done anything, if you ever were learning how to write, you weren't very good at the beginning, or there was times where you struggled, but then you got a rhythm because you just kept going at it. You kept figuring it out. You kept grinding at it. And that's where we're at right now. We're figuring out who we are as a culture.
Jaguars quarterback Nick Foles earlier today, courtesy of Jaguars.com. DJ Chark and Chris Conley both limited today in practice with hamstring injuries. 65 degrees at 5:01. Your time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Here, that means it's time for more football. Football at 5. 5 o'clock somewhere. On the Frangie Show.
All right, it is time for the Jack Sports Council College Football Report. We'll go quickly because our man Rick Catlett is on the road, but he checks in from the bowl meetings in Atlanta. Hey, Rick.
Hey, how you doing, Frank? I'm sorry I'm not there with all you guys, but thanks for letting me come on the phone.
Not a problem, man. We'll cover it. So what are the bowl meetings? What do you discuss who may wind up where? Is it policy? How does that work, Rick?
Yeah, Frank, we all have boards in our office, and I think you've probably seen my board.
Yeah.
On my conference room wall. And so what we do is we bring that information up and we play what ifs. And so you go, well, where would you be if Virginia Tech wins out and plays in the championship game in the ACC? And so we just kind of walk through it where the bowl directors can talk to each other, because in the ACC we actually get together and try to put it all together before the conference gets involved. So if we can come to the conference with we all agree on this, here's the teams we want, and here's where we want to play. So the conference very rarely will get involved after that. So that's really what it's just trying to accomplish. And Michael Strickland from the league office puts this together every year, and it really does help. It's one thing to talk to somebody on the phone. It's another thing to look them in the eye. So it's a good meeting tonight.
Rick, what are some games in these next 3 weeks that you feel like are really going to shape and determine which teams come to Jacksonville?
Well, rivalry weekend's a big deal, but this weekend is really, really important to us. Wisconsin, Penn State, those are two big games, and how they play out in it. Clearly, on the SEC side, you got Tennessee and Missouri, which is a really big game for us to focus on. If Tennessee somehow wins that game, and then they play Vanderbilt the last week, now all of a sudden you've got a 7-5 Tennessee team that's on a 5 or 6 game win streak, so that puts them sort of in the mixture, and it gives you some alternatives if Auburn, for example, is not there. So those are the kinds of games that we really focus on, things that can play into who's going to play in the championship game. And we take a hard look at the top 12 in the CFP poll, and there's Florida sitting there at 11th. There's some teams that play each other in front. Do they fall behind Florida? I think that's the biggest overriding question right now. Will the SEC get 4 teams in the CFP, or will they only get 3?
Tennessee was here a few years ago. How did the fan base turn out?
It was tremendous. We had them 6 years ago, the first year of this cycle, and we sold over 60,000 seats. So as you probably have heard from the press conference yesterday that y'all covered, the effort this year is to sell out the stadium for our 75th game. We have a really good 75th package where it's $75 that gets you 4 tickets to the game and a parking pass. So we're really making an effort to make it affordable and to try to put 2 teams together that the local people want to come and see. And, of course, our time slot on Thursday night, you couldn't ask for a better time slot given the fact that nobody else will be on TV. It's Thursday night. Everybody's used to going either to the NFL Network or to ESPN for their football on Thursday night. And so we think we're set up really well this year for a heck of a football game.
So, Rick, in these meetings tonight, is there any is there gamesmanship at all? I mean, do you have to, or are people pretty upfront about, look, this is what we want to do? How does that go?
Well, I think that's why you want to have these meetings, Frank, because you want to see the guy. You want to look at him in the eyes.
Right.
On a telephone call, you can sometimes say things that are just for show.
Right.
Certainly text and emails are the same thing. But when there's 6 guys sitting in a room or 6 people sitting in the room and you're all talking about, okay, what do you really want? If it comes down to, like last year, we had Miami and we really wanted to look strongly at Miami, and some other bowls kind of said, well, we'd like to go this direction. And the conference just quite frankly asked us to take NC State. They were 9-3. They deserved it, so we went ahead and did that. That's the kind of thing that you pave the way to happen at the end.
Rick, in terms of Florida State, if they're able to pull the upset next weekend over the Gators, how likely or what's the chance that the Noles could be here?
Well, 7-5 would put them in the pool. That would be when the Music City Bowl and the Gator Bowl, Taxslayer Gator Bowl, will sit down and discuss what that means. It looks like now you could have a Indiana, which would be very appealing to the Music City Bowl, being that close to Indiana. They did very well with Purdue last year, so perhaps Scott Ramsey would like to think about going and get Indiana, trading out our opportunity to be in the ACC. And, of course, if they beat Florida and we're in the ACC and they're willing to come here, it would be a great thing to have them in the year where they should have started the year.
And the way that's being planned for the 75th year anniversary, there's a whole week's worth of activities. I know if it ends up being Indiana, you're kind of hoping that the Indiana fans come down in advance of the Taxslayer Gator Bowl game because the Jaguars host the Colts that Sunday before, right?
That absolutely plays in it. And, one of the things that we don't normally do is we don't normally allow the public to interface with the teams because it's the 75th game. We have a great opportunity to allow the fans to not only go to the hotels that the teams are at, they will not be allowed to go to the practice facilities, but they can attend all of the events that we put on for the team So the Navy base, the Top Golf, all of those kinds of things. As you know, we put together a great game day activity utilizing all the facilities, utilizing the practice facility with the Taxpayer Tailgate Party, the concert in Daly's Place, and, of course, utilizing the Terrace Suite and the Bud Club and all that kind of stuff for open parties to the fans. So we're going to make a big deal out of this. It's funny, Frank, you'll appreciate this because you'll remember the 1969 Gator Bowl.
I do.
We had a guy named Archie Manning playing Heisman Trophy winner and Pat Sullivan in Auburn, and I had a half-an-hour conversation with Archie Manning today, and it was great to had not talked to him since Peyton played in our game down in Gainesville, and he was so excited about being picked as the quarterback for the 75th team, and he's looking forward to flying in after his Sugar Bowl duties and flying in the game day of the game and spending a bunch of time with us and with the fans coming to the game.
That's really cool. I tell you that I remember that game. It might have been a little later in '69. I was thinking '69 might have been Florida, Tennessee. But you're right, Rick. I remember the game, whatever year it was. Archie Manning played with a broken arm. Played with a broken arm on his had a cast on his arm, and he played against Pat Sullivan, the Heisman Trophy winner. It was a magnificent game, and I was honored enough to be on your poll. I might have voted for Archie Manning, Rick. Just so you know, okay? I might have.
You know, Frank, if you remember, he was going to win the Heisman Trophy. Broke his arm with 2 games left, and he finished second to Pat Sullivan that year. So, it was getting to talk to those people that have made college football great has really been a joy this year for me. And of course, as I wind down my career after 28 years, to get to see and talk with Phil Fulmer and Steve Spurrier and Bobby Bowden, this is going to be a lot of fun. The people of Jacksonville should really enjoy this.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. You guys have worked very hard. I know you have, Rick. Your whole group has worked very hard to make this 75th year special, and you've done a great job of that. I mean that very sincerely. All right, before you go, if you guessed right now, if you had to guess, I'm afraid, don't tell Rich I'm saying this, but I'm afraid Wisconsin might have played their way out of your game. I may be wrong, but that's what I think. If you had to guess, what would you guess? Tennessee and who? If you were just guessing.
If I was just guessing, I would almost have to say Tennessee. But I really need them to beat Missouri to be in that position.
Correct.
There's still a chance that Auburn could be there if Florida falls out of the CFP, which half of the people in college football believe they will, and half of them believe they won't.
Right.
Wisconsin goes. There's an outside shot at Michigan. If Michigan is, they could lose the last 2 games of the year. Now they fall down into our mix. Certainly in Indiana, but if you start with Tennessee and you get any shot at Florida State, you all of a sudden have a great matchup.
All right. I'm going to predict Tennessee, Illinois. That's my prediction. Okay, write that down in your hotel room there. Okay, that's my.
You are the play-by-play guy for the Jaguars. You do know that Mr. Kahn went to Illinois, right?
I do know. So that's my. I'm on the record for Tennessee, Illinois. That's my prediction. So we'll see.
All right.
Rick Catlett checking in from Atlanta. Rick, have fun tonight, man. We appreciate you checking in.
Thanks, Frank. Talk to y'all later.
All right, Rick Catlett checking in for the from the bowl meetings in Atlanta. I always wonder when they have these meetings, do they really tell the truth? Yeah, Rick, I'll take them. Yeah, I'll pass on them. And I guess they do because you're not trying. You want everybody to have a good game. Right?
I would think they tell the truth because it's the same people in the meetings year in and year out. So if you don't tell the truth one year, you're in that room again with the same people. I don't know that they'll believe you anymore.
I think the game's Tennessee, Illinois.
Illinois has at Iowa remaining on the schedule and then play host to Northwestern to finish out the season.
And where's their record now?
They're 6-4 right now.
6-4. Okay, so they'll beat Northwestern. Northwestern's terrible. I don't know that they win at Iowa, so they finish 7-5. I think 7-5 Illinois winds up playing 7-5 Tennessee. Write that down. That's my prediction.
It'll be a lot of orange.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of different kinds of orange, but that's what I think. What do you think? Who do you think lands here?
I do think Tennessee, and I've got to give Jeremy Pruitt a lot of credit because Rick's right. If they become a 7-win team, they will have won 5 straight,
and they'll be upwardly mobile.
Oh yeah,
their fan base will think finally we're headed in the right direction.
They will be saying they'll be coming to Jacksonville saying 7-5 this year, 10-2 next year. I think Tennessee, if they can take care of Missouri and Vandy, that makes all the sense in the world. And I'll say Wisconsin does end up in Jacksonville. So I will say Tennessee, and I'll say that the Gator Bowl gets a little bit better of a Big Ten rep in the Badgers.
So I'm pretty sure of this. For Wisconsin to wind up here, they're going to have to lose both games. That's a home game to Purdue.
You think?
You
don't think like 9-3 gets them here?
I think 9-3 they're in.
Because you got Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, and Minnesota.
Yeah.
So Wisconsin, I would think, would be the 5th.
Ohio State's going to be in the playoff.
Right.
So that leaves Penn State, Minnesota, Wisconsin is the next 3.
And Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe. I just find my guess is Wisconsin winds up in Orlando, Tampa, somewhere. My gut tells me. Now, there'll be a hard push to get him here because Rich Thompson, who's the chairman of the committee, is a Wisconsin guy and played football there and would love to see him there, and I get that. But my gut tells me it would be – we'll see. Well, my gut tells me that they've played their way out of here because I think they're going to finish 9-3. I don't think they're going to win at Minnesota. I do think they're going to beat Purdue at home, so I think they're going to wind up being 9-3. Indiana also is really in play.
Tennessee, Indiana is the one that a lot of projections.
Yeah,
have.
and I could see Indiana. That's the other thing I could see here. I think Tennessee will be here.
So
I don't think Florida State's going to beat Florida because I think if FSU upset Florida, that would be the game.
That'll be the game.
Yeah.
Tennessee, Florida State. Yeah. So we talk about nightmare scenarios with the playoff. Let me throw one at you for the Gator Bowl. So what happens, and maybe this would be a better question for Rick next week. What happens if Missouri beats Tennessee?
Yep.
Tennessee's out. Auburn beats Alabama.
Right.
So Auburn probably now is out. They're going to probably be
Right.
selected ahead. So, and let's say Florida makes either the orange or the cotton.
Right.
So the SEC still
Which I
gets.
think they will, right?
Right. So then it would be intriguing to see at that point, what does it end up becoming? Because they just had Texas A&M.
Right.
And the SEC.
It gets tough then.
Yeah, I mean, the Big Ten already has 8 teams that are bowl eligible.
Right.
The SEC only has 6.
Yeah, the Gator Bowl.
Well, Missouri would get bowl eligible in your scenario.
But they can't go.
Because they're on probation.
Oh, because that's true. It hasn't been determined yet, right?
Yeah,
whether
well,
they can go?
but I'm not sure the Gator Bowl's jumping in
Loving
Missouri,
Missouri
anyway.
anyway, yeah.
Very good point.
Yeah, well, your point's a very good one. The Gator Bowl really needs Tennessee to get to 7 wins.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Gator Bowl in the worst way needs Tennessee to somehow get here. I wonder if they take them at 6-6. What's Tennessee's record now?
They're 5-5.
Okay, they're 5, and they're going to beat Vanderbilt.
You would think.
Missouri. And
So I wouldn't be surprised if they come at 6-6. Would not.
They might have to.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think they're going to win both those games and be 7-5 and be the host team in the Gator Bowl. But I would not be shocked if they took them even given the scenario you just laid out.
Right.
If they wound up taking them at 6-6, and
Vegas has the Tigers favored by 4 points at home.
Really?
Missouri over Tennessee. Yep.
Missouri is a 4-point favorite.
Yes.
Over Tennessee.
I thought you'd be surprised.
Yeah, I would take those 4.
Well, that's hang on. I got to put my house on.
Yeah, right. It's just right.
Got to call my bookie right
Yeah,
now.
I would take
Let me get
that.
the app up here.
When is that game? What time?
It is 7:30.
7th. Oh, okay.
Yep.
SEC.
Missouri
Night
is a
game.
4-point favorite.
Hey, you guys told me last week that Missouri
Over
Florida would be
Tennessee.
sticky because of several reasons. Missouri's really good at home, scores 40
Yeah,
points or more.
yeah.
Obviously, not against Florida, they didn't. But there were several reasons that you thought it would be worrisome.
Right.
So if you're looking at this game against Tennessee, who's not any great shakes, but have been playing
Right.
better, Vegas is, I think, thinking the same exact
Well,
thing.
I think in Vegas, unlike Hayes and I, we watched that Florida game and we realized Missouri's not very good.
Yeah.
I think that the light kind of went on for us that they're not very good.
Yeah, I mean, and again, you only need Tennessee to lose by 3 to win the bet. So I think Tennessee beats Missouri.
I do too.
But, I mean, wow, that's a really surprising spread.
But I would, again, the best scenario for the Gator Bowl would be FSU win that game against Florida, and then 7-5 Tennessee, 7-5 FSU. It'd be a heck of a game. That would be a game. That they might sell that one out. They would sell that game out. But I don't think FSU's beating Florida. So I think, and I don't think 6-6 FSU's coming to the Gator Bowl. I would be very surprised if 6. I wouldn't be shocked. But I don't think.
But you'd be passing on probably an 8-win Big Ten team.
Correct. And I think Indiana, I don't know. I just don't. I can't get a feel for the football following. Illinois, because they've been so miserable for so long, because of the Shad presence, Illinois would draw better here than you think. Illinois actually would do okay here. They would be kind of like some of those Iowa teams, that came down here and did pretty well. So Wisconsin would draw better. Wisconsin would really draw here. They travel, but
that would be a fun tailgate to go to.
yeah, it would. But Illinois, Tennessee, Illinois would draw better than you think because look, I can tell you they haven't won a bowl game since Zook was the coach. They've only been to one. I don't think they've been to a bowl game in 6 years. I don't think they've had a bowl trip in 6 years.
That's almost impossible.
In this day and age.
When there's 79 bowl games.
And I don't think they've been to one. Yeah.
I thought it was 38.
Yeah, I don't think they've been to one.
I'm already researching for our upcoming bet. One thing y'all didn't get to expound upon yesterday when you had Tom Block on, because then, of course, Helmets and Heels, built by Dreamfinders. Helms takes over. He said that he believes the FSU coach will be a sitting Power 5 guy, sitting Power 5 head coach, and will be in place on Monday after Florida State.
Did he say Power 5? He did, didn't he?
Yes. Yes. Thanks to Gibby for cutting that clip so that way.
Yeah, Gibby. And by the way, I heard it when we walked out here for the news. Yeah, play that when you find it, Gibby. Power 5.
Yeah. So that really limits the.
Well, so that would be like a Mark Stoops.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Gibby, play that. This is Tom Block on our program yesterday.
In my mind, I don't think Odell will be the choice. I think they want to get a sitting head coach from a Power 5 school. Now, who that is, I don't know. But, if it's somebody who's not in their conference championship game, they could finish their regular season the same day FSU plays Florida. Tidy up some loose ends and fly to Tallahassee on Sunday night. You could do a press conference on Monday. I would expect that Monday or Tuesday after the FSU Florida game that we'd see something.
And that's in a week and a half. So if it's really going to happen in a week and a half, that means they're down the road. Tom's pretty connected. So he said Power 5. That takes Mike Norvell out of play. It takes Josh Heupel out of play. It would mean Mark Stoops, Matt Campbell. I don't think P.J. Fleck just re-upped, right?
Right.
I mean, could P.J. Fleck come anyway?
That's a great question. I don't think so, because I think the perception would be so tough. It's like, why would you sign an extension and then leave? So I wouldn't think. Now, technically, Odell Haggins is right now the coach of a Power 5.
Yeah, but he pretty much did.
But he did rule.
You're trying so hard. Nobody's trying to get Odell that job harder than Hayes Carlin.
Odell.
But your point is a good one. And I remember the quote from him yesterday on the program. I did not remember Power 5. So what he's saying is he does believe that the Mike Norvell type coach is out.
Right, like a Matt Campbell would be a guy that they've.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said Stoops, Campbell, Fleck are the three.
And to me, Fleck is out. You can't be a true Midwesterner and turn your back on a team after you've signed.
Yeah, you wouldn't think.
Like last bowl for Illinois, December 26, 2014, in the heart of Dallas Bowl, they lost to Louisiana Tech 35-18. Before that, 2010 and 2011 victories.
Yeah, La Tech put double digits on them. Okay, and by the way, and I've told this story before. And again, this is me being pouty guy because they fired my guy Zook. You said last two wins were 10 and 11.
Yes.
10, they beat Baylor with RG3 and Art Browse 38-14. Okay, 11 months later he's fired. You're freaking Illinois. Think about that for a second.
Probably not the right move.
You probably just beat RG3 and Baylor 38-14 in the Art Browse offense.
I can't believe you remember that game score.
And 11 months later you're fired. And you're Illinois. You're not Alabama.
Right.
Okay, so for think about it. But that's my one pouty moment.
Is Cristobal gonna somehow emerge here